right, here we are with Star Wars Pitch Black, a Fellowship game, Season 1, Episode 6. We are in February 2021, and my name is Devin. I'm playing the Framework Playbook, specifically the Overlord, the Lord Marshal of the Necromonger Horde. And with me we have today...
I'm Stephanie, playing 411KM, a droid, and the Air Playbook.
I'm Nicole, playing General Dreadnought, Arc Clone Trooper, the Tinker Playbook.
Peter as Shining Peak, the Nelvanian Force Mystic, the Ogre.
Ian, playing Sicarius, a Harch, the Spider Playbook.
I'm Holden, playing Zevin Dre, Human Jedi Knight, the Lantern Playbook.
And the name of this episode today... Wait, is that everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the name of this episode today is Dear Doctor. So, where we last left our heroes, you had engaged in a siege on the planet Hoth with the Necromonger Horde to stop them from retrieving an ancient Zepho artifact, the Stellar Intelligence, said to be a supercomputer of unimaginable power. You broke off into different teams. 411KM went to the Prophet Mandalorian chapter house to convince them to join the fight. Sicarius and Shining Peaks went through secret tunnels to try and head off the Horde and get the Stellar Intelligence and sneak it out from under them. Zevin Dre with the other Jedi went on their ship, the Necrobore, to attack the air and ground forces. And Dreadnought, the clone trooper, went with some furlings and went to find an ancient crawling fortress from their more warlike heyday, refurbish it and bring it up to speed to fight the ground forces of the Necromonger Horde and draw attention away from the tunnels. Everyone has succeeded beyond anyone's wildest expectation at all of this. And so we bring ourselves to this session. So we're going to bring ourselves right back to 41KM. You are among the Mandalorians. They have all, they're cheering. Your sibling, Eternal Fiance's body has been taken away, or their head, basically, and the Necromongers have left. The Mandalorians have gifted you with some of their best soldiers, and you've also hired on some mercenaries as well to return to the rest of your group if you see fit. But really, my question to you is, what action are you going to take now that the fighting is continuing out there and you have nothing left to do here?
Well, I guess I should probably return to the group and maybe help them out.
Okay, and bring the cavalry because you got a bunch of war droids with you that you can spend with bonds of service. Yes. Okay, who would you like to rejoin with? There are 3 teams out there right now.
Who's on the ground?
Dreadnought is on the ground with the ground team and some of the Mandalorians that are doing the ground battle, and the crawling fortress and the furlings and the wampas.
Okay, then that would probably be the easiest for me to get to. I will go in that direction.
Sure, they'll get you a vehicle and drive you over to it and stuff with your crew.
Right. Okay.
Easy enough. Somebody here owns a speeder car. Right. All right, so we'll then pivot. I guess to the strike team. You have moved past the Gorman Bosia addict Mandalorians, and they have left. They didn't want to really fight you to begin with because that seems like that would be a nightmare. And they got what they came for without having to draw blood. A victory for everyone. You're continuing down the tunnels that become more mechanical and more obviously designed and created, and eventually start finding old Jeffries tubes and corridors that have been merged partially with the ice and the stone that you're now reaching as you get under the ice flow, and are dropping down into what would probably be the central data center of the ship, which is where your schematics are taking you. Before you get there, you come across kind of a midsection, like a giant chasm cut between where the ship's body parts are that sort of just opens up the area. And hanging out here are a group of people. You see someone with canine-like features in what looks like clone trooper armor, but their helmet has a canine design to it, including molded ears, with a big hunk of metal coming out of part of their skull. You see Admiral Trench with his fancy cybernetics and a cane hanging out, just guarding a general area. You see one of those Devonian peoples, those devil guys from Star Wars that have red skin and horns that look like the devil, in some sort of battle harness with combat webbing on him, just also mulling about. And then you see a rather large pitcher plant. It's a pitcher plant crawling around on vines and stuff. It looks like Audrey 2.
Okay.
It's big-ish. And it has like almost spider leg vines coming out of its big, giant, eat people piranha plant head.
Okay.
All right, you recognize these? They're from Kashyyyk. They're a nightmare. I don't remember the name I gave to them, but it was a funny name, and now I can't recall it because I didn't write it down. Anyway, this is what you come across. What do you two say to each other before you kind of are swept up into this entanglement? Your brother's right there, Sicarius.
I'm gonna look at Shining Peak and like far enough back that we can chat without being seen. Shining Peak. That's my brother, Admiral Trench.
Do you want me to kill him?
I'd prefer not.
Do you want to kill him?
I'd prefer not to that as well. I'll sneak in there. I'll kill one of them. You come in, punch the other one, kill another one, and then we should be able to talk my brother down, and we should be able to kill the last one pretty easily if they're not dumb enough to continue fighting.
It seems like that entire exchange should have been between my character talking to someone. It's like, oh hey, there's my dad, and I'm like, oh, do you want me to kill them? It's like, oh, you want to do it? I get it. Like, that's what it reminded me of. It's like the assumption. You couldn't possibly like them, right? Like, it's a dad. Right? It's one of your parents. I mean,
You don't want to have their head cut off in front of their child?
Oh boy.
I mean, Dread obviously wants to kill their parent because they, all of them have just one parent. So, it's kind of, a bragging right. I killed our dad. What did you do?
Okay, well, as you have that plan, I guess we'll swing the spot. Okay. What are you doing? What do you got? What do you got for me?
I'm gonna I can crawl on walls, on the ceiling, whole 9 yards.
Do you want to look closely to generate some webs for you?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea first.
I'm going to say that officially we are in a new scene now because we've transitioned to a new
Yes.
episode.
No, I know we have. That's why I've erased all my webs. Okay, that will be a 10 for look closely.
All right, what do you want from me?
I want to know what's going on here. What do my senses tell me?
All right, these 4 people are guarding an area and are keeping in touch with the ship through a communicator, and they have like a little holo pad and stuff. The plant is chewing on like some food. The buff guy who looks like Satan is playing cards with the Admiral Trench, and the canine-headed person is like looking around. And you can see like the helmet ears are actually twitching a bit because it's why if you had canine ears, you'd mold your helmet to do that.
That's fair.
And they're just looking around, shifting their weight, not really doing anything.
Is something hidden or out of place what looks suspicious?
I mean, they've trapped the area with like tripwires and sensors and stuff so they can detect an ambush, but I'm guessing you just moved yourself right past that.
Yep. And then Shining Peak, do you want to ask a question?
I guess probably be interested in your brother. What is he doing? What will they do next?
Admiral Trench is currently sitting here with other co-workers of his, waiting for his brother to show up so like he can have a human conversation with him.
Okay.
Do you need any more information? What else could I give you?
Nope, that's fair.
That's satisfying.
Yep. Okay. Then from a position of stealth, I am going to ambush and kill the exterminator.
The plant?
Yep.
Coming in hot, killing a plant.
You said that my character knows that they don't like these, so I'm going to kill them. If that's something my character knows they don't like, I'm taking it out.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's the smartest move. I'm saying I'm going to go in character with this one. I don't like those things. I'm taking it out.
All right. So how does that look?
That would be so. I'm gonna also, if I can, I'll give Shining Peak advantage with this by using one of my companions I'll scratch one of the swarm stats on my bug companion. So what happens is Sicarius is on top of the ceiling, holding on to like stalagmites and stalactites, and then he kind of just, you know how when like dogs do that like shake to get water off of them, but it's like it's very small and it just like all the water just like rolls off of them.
Oh my god.
He does one of those, but instead of water falling off of him, it's just spiders.
Oh my goodness.
It's just like a swarm of spiders start falling off of him and start like landing all around everywhere and just confusing people as he drops down with his he has bladed daggers, I believe. I gave him. Yeah. He has bladed
what
daggers? Like a dagger.
He has knives,
It's like-
Nicole.
like
He
a
has
short
knives.
dagger.
He's saying bladed daggers when he could just say dagger because a bladed dagger is what a dagger is.
I'm picturing something different in my mind and I'm having trouble describing it. Anyways,
We're just moving on.
he has knives and he's just like he just lets go of the thing, does a full like aerial backflip and lands both daggers in the head of this plant, killing it instantly as he's like just sitting on top of it.
I no longer feel conflicted about how hard I'm going to body you this session.
No, that's fair. That's a valid argument.
Especially because you have poison attacks now, right? So
Yes,
it's
all my
definitely going to kill the
attacks do
plant.
poison.
Yeah, even if you stab a plant and it wouldn't kill the plant, like the poison would.
All right, so you successfully kill Vladon Rayfield, the Exterminator.
Yep.
He had the most Star Wars name I could think of.
And I'm hoping that the swarm, sacrificing my swarm, will give advantage to Shining Peak.
For whomst?
Like, because it's swarm, so there's 3 threats, which means swarm can target 3 enemies, so they're all kind of distracted. There's a swarm of spiders just crawling all over people.
Okay.
Oh my
so,
Christ.
Shining Peaks, what is your reaction?
Well, this got to be, to start with something, but after that, well, I don't know who to kill, honestly. So,
Well, you know one person you're not supposed to kill, so
Maybe try the other one?
The dog-headed person has your people's tattoos all over their armor.
Well, then I guess I should kill the other person then and see whether my person would say something, I guess. So I guess I'll just launch an attack. Chet Satan, is it?
Yes, his name is Chet Satan. For reference, Chet Satan is a master of Teräs Käsi, which means he's a karate expert.
Amazing.
He's the giant killer stat block. His martial arts allow him to beat up force users.
And I rolled a 6.
Good, because I get hard cuts against the giant.
Perfect. Cut me, Devin.
I'm going to do that. Okay, so what does this look like against Chet Satan?
Well, I just lunge from, where I was perched down, just jumping across the chasm and, with my fist extended, just try to punch him there.
So you just lunge and punch him?
Yeah.
All right. He turns around from the chess table, from the card game table. They were playing Sabak. Thank you very much. He gets up and, smooth as butter, turns around, grabs your punch from behind, grabs your shoulders from his back, and puts you into a reverse full Nelson and pile drives you into the ground. Take damage.
Oof. Well, that wasn't a very wise thing, so I'll damage my wisdom.
So he'll take a Muay Thai fighter stance, like he's ready to go. He's like, all right, here we go. That makes sense. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And the dog-headed person just kind of snaps up, Ghost Hand.
Well, he's Ghost Hand.
No, they're looking at you, jackass. They look at you and say Ghost Hand. They're not introducing themselves.
I mean, they could be.
the most awkward way to introduce yourself possible. Just like glance up and dramatically say your own name. I'm just like, Nicole!
Killer Queen!
Okay, to be fair, yes, Killer Queen.
Yeah.
Like, I would expect that from Ian, Peter, but I expected better from you.
Just because I don't have a solid grasp on the English language doesn't mean...
I just pretend that,
Ian,
Yeah.
Peter is literally has English as a second language, or
It's like a fifth language.
right? Like, you're saying you don't have a grasp on the English language, and it's like,
Ian and I have the same statement we can make to people where it's like, did you mean this word? And we can both go, oh yeah, sorry, English is my second language. And like, oh, what other language do you speak? I don't speak any other language.
Yep. Exactly.
I am ESL though.
Ghost Hand. Pleased to meet you, Ghost Hand. No, you don't. No, wait, God damn it.
Hello, Ghost Hand. I'm Dad.
I do blame my father for this. His language skills are worse than mine. It's unfortunate some days.
wait, does your dad?
Anyway, we're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Sicarius, you wanted to talk with someone?
Everyone.
So let us know when
Sicarius.
it's time to start raining victory points
Yes.
down from the sky.
Yeah. As Sicarius watches Shining Peak get like absolutely taken out, he's immediately going to grab his walkie-talkie and be like, "Okay, so we could use some help here with the strike team. We're taking hits."
What? You're going to tell people topside, figure it out, asshole?
Just glass it. Glass it in orbit. The maker knows his own.
Like we got 3 enemies here. 1 we can talk down. 2 are looking a little angry.
You could have talked down all of these people.
No. We're glossing that. They couldn't have been talked down. Only one of them could have been talked down.
Well, why don't you start by talking with them? Sicarius.
Get off your fucking phone, you millennial.
Yeah, Scarce is gonna kind of look up. Hello. Hey, brother. How's it going?
Oh, you killed Vlad on Rayfield. I just bought him.
Sorry about
slaver then.
That's on me.
Why would you do that?
Okay, look. We all know that there was going to be violence today. We got it out of the way early. Let's leave it at that.
He's just like, I just don't. Why are you here? What's happening?
So
You can just walk up to me like a human being?
Yes, Sicarius, you're such a awful brother.
I don't. So what if I wanted to show off how good I am at getting, like, you were talking down to me last time. You were hologrammed and trying to kidnap me, and you were saying I can't handle myself. Well, I'm proving that I can handle myself.
By shooting my dog?
I mean, I try my best every day, and you and Mom and Dad never understood me.
And Dad.
And Dad. They just never understood, okay?
Look, this just underscores the point I was trying to make before. You can't be out here. You can't be doing this anymore. You need to come home. Things are happening.
But I clearly, like, pointing at the dead body, I clearly can handle this.
No, there are things coming. We have to gather together. Things are spiraling out of control outside of the Strait. The war is getting... There's something wrong with the war. You have to come home. Just come home.
Okay, maybe later, but we got to get this thing first, pointing at a direction.
No, don't go down there. Don't go down that path. You don't need to go down that path. You could come home with me. You could just leave this behind, and everything you care about will mostly be safe, and you could just look past it.
The word "mostly" is unfortunately used there, because it normally is a good thing when mostly things are good, but the way you say it makes it sound like a bad thing.
Look, some eggs are going to crack, brother, and you don't have to be one of them.
Well, I'd prefer, yes, not to be one of them, but I'd also prefer the people who I consider friends not to be one of them.
Okay, sure, we could let them live. That's fine. Look, things are happening now. Okay? The Clone War is a sham. I figured it out. I did the math.
I would like to know more about your math.
Then just stay here. Just stay here and talk to me.
But I do think we need to go get that thing, because it's important, and the Lord Necromonger guy is really not good, brother.
How do you know?
I mean, he's got a death cult.
So does everyone else.
Yeah, but his just seems like. Did you see how unorganized he was before you?
Have you been to Commercia Prime?
Yes.
You're telling me that's not a death cult?
I mean, okay. So
Okay, now we're getting into capitalism is apparently a death cult. That's a little bit esoteric here.
I know what you mean.
Or with a literal murder room, but
I know how you're saying, and I fully agree with Arton Moth that, being a
Wait, you've met
Corona-
Arton Moth?
Yeah, he's amazing. We were drinking buddies.
No.
Wait, you know him?
Yeah, we were trying to not hire him back, but I got overruled on that one.
Oh, he did say he was joining you guys. Oh yeah. You guys should join us.
There is no us after what happens. There's only going to be the Strait of Messina. The Lord Marshal, the Lord Marshal isn't planning to wipe out all life in the galaxy. All life in the galaxy is going to be wiped out and reformed under one new overlord. He's protecting the people in the Strait of Messina. Don't you see? This is the only safe place we'll be able to live in the New World Order.
I don't know.
Just come with me. I can explain it all. I have hard evidence. I have proof. I have findings. Just come with me. Walk away. You can trust me.
I know that, but I also just, there's something off about the Lord Marshal.
There's something off about Count Dooku, and there's something off about the Supreme Chancellor, and there's something off with the Jedi Council.
How long has it been since he called for backup at this point?
Did you actually call for backup too, or did you think of
actually?
You son of a bitch. Well, that means we have to spin the spotlight.
Where a big drill comes through the ceiling, I think.
We need to spin the spotlight just slightly as that's happening, because stuff's happening on your ship, Holden. Shit is going down, man. So thank you, Ian. I now have to spin the spotlight away from you as we have to touch on this.
No, that's good. That's good. We had a long spotlight, so that was good.
Good. And not Peter, though. We'll have to come back to Peter. We'll come back to Peter after we come back from the ship, because the ship's going to be a nightmare. Okay, Zevin, you're on the ship. I'm presuming the last thing you guys did after that whole angel kerfuffle was start to get the bridge back together and, get people patched up to continue piloting the ship, right? As you're, doing strafing runs and shit?
Let's say yes.
I'm just assuming that's kind of the busy work you're doing when that call comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So around the time the call comes in, the Mandalorian is hanging out in the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
The time stopper, Mara Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Rudwar is patching himself up, and so is Tora, and so is your navigator because he got caught in that explosion. And they're all kind of trying to get things back up and running for you. When suddenly you, Rudwar, and Tora get a very bad feeling about things.
Oh, shit.
As you hear noise from the wreckage of where you killed that droid.
You'll have to be more specific. I've killed so many today.
Do you have any idea how little that helps narrow it down? The protocol droid that Mara Jade came on board with.
The one in the smuggling hold, yes.
Yeah, you hear noise coming from it, and you all get a very bad feeling.
Uh-oh.
Would you care to describe the noise?
No.
Did you just forget about him?
Don't you forget about me, baby.
Droids count as corpses now?
We have established that for Mike and Bob. If they're alive enough, he can do it.
Really? All right.
Okay,
Mostly because I transitioned them from their old stat block to just being an ever-present corrosive presence using the what do you fucking call this? The corruption playbook?
the Scourge.
Scourge. Goddamn. S word. Couldn't remember it. So yeah, they're just represented by the corrosive template now. Or the blighted template. They blight things that are alive. And Monarch was alive before you ended his life.
It's not alive. Oh, that's not good.
Well, alive in the sense of a spiritual sense. It's a person, not alive in the biological sense.
In the animalistic sense.
Yeah, Anyway, you heard noise from the hold, and you'll get a very bad, familiar feeling. That is what I'm telegraphing to you before I stop telegraphing things and it becomes real.
Eject.
I'm opening a channel to Dread, who we've seen is in the crater with.
Yeah, you see them right there. You have eyes on them. Easy. Their chain code shows up on your map.
Yeah, and I'm updating them. I believe we've got that thing that was aboard the. Was it? Did we just straight up call that at the Event Horizon? Shit, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's called the Event Horizon. That's its given Christian name.
Okay. That thing that was after us on the Event Horizon, we think it may be aboard the ship. Need backup.
Do you got eyes on it?
I'm going to get them on now.
All right. I will jump into my mech if I'm not already in it, and I will jump up to wherever the ship is.
You begin your Ironmonger jetpack boot ascent.
Do you also take Kim with you? That should be coming back to your location, Dread.
Kim has arrived on scene.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Pick
can
her up.
with me. And all of my Mandalorians that I have.
No, because that is a custom move to let everyone ride on Nicole's ride pod. So you could take one person per claw and your two droids. Like you have the droid that's folded up in the back, R2, and you got your two guys that are plugged into your armor. You can take those guys, and you can put Kim in one arm and another person in another. Those two Mandalorians have Phoenix Ascenders.
Okay. Does my Mandalorian?
Sure, why not? They borrowed some from the armory. They haven't gotten the Space Marine marks or whatever they call it to approve of it. They were just able to borrow it for the conflict. And
because we're still in the middle of a fight in this crater, right?
Yeah, but it's thinning out pretty quick because you guys are amazing at being a ship and a war machine.
Because the Republican is also here. I don't know if I should take him with us though, or if I should let him continue this fight.
Take the Republican with you. That's probably a good bet.
Well, then I'll do so.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I want to do something different. Because I didn't want to use Mike this time. I want to use Bob. It doesn't matter, just for personality. I want to load a different personality in because I've been overusing Mike too much. I just have. Bob is the one that talks, and I haven't been able to use him as much as I've used Mike because Mike has the one arm, and that's distinctive.
Yep.
Okay, so you and the Mandalorians and KM and the Republican are in your claws, and you are jetting up to there in a not super slow, but it's going to take it's going to take a little while for you to get up there. So back to the ship. What do you do, Zevin?
We're heading for that pit trap, and I'm bringing up Rudor with me.
All right, Rudor has his lightsaber pre-ignited, being like, "Oh boy."
Yep, me too.
I'm not going back to Korriban.
None of us are.
All right, you approach the area. What do you do?
Keep your heart steady, friend. The Force is with us.
He just steels himself. You can feel him centering himself.
And I suppose it is time to look over the edge of the pit.
You see that stuff shifted around, and you can hear a soft sound coming from the pit.
I mean, I have a light source.
Yeah, it's just obscured because there's debris. You slam this down with a bunch of metal and twisted structure to crush that droid and kill it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your vision is obscured. You can't see all the way into the hold. You turned it into a reverse spike pit trap. You put the person in and doing the Legos in the wrong order, then you plugged the spikes in.
Move it with the Force.
I'm going to. I believe I'm going to look closely.
Go for it. How are you observing it? Just with your eyes, or maybe reaching out with the Force, maybe moving
both.
stuff?
Yeah, both.
Okay, do it. Let's see how this plays out.
Sense. Let's see. I believe my sense is actually dog shit, unfortunately. Yeah, +0. And I should have my dice roller up. I keep forgetting to do that.
It keeps happening, right?
And that's a 6.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh no.
I feel like Christ on the cross.
So I get to ask one question, but the hard way, was it?
Boop, boop, boop. I'm just trying to... The PDF is just fighting me.
Yep.
There we go. Look closely. 6 minus 1 question. Learn it the hard way.
What's down there?
Seems pretty obvious to me what the question is.
Right.
What's the question, Zevin? What do your elf eyes see?
How much will this hurt?
Is something hidden or out of place? If so, what looks suspicious?
The suspicious thing you draw out is not the body of a violently sapient protocol droid. It is the second of his 2 C4 charges that has been primed and goes off when you pick it up the hard way. You and Rudwar are concussively blasted out of the hallway, like backwards, as an explosion goes off in midair. And all that shrapnel you lifted up with the Force to kind of sort out becomes shrapnel once again, history repeating. It's poetry, it rhymes.
Ouch.
You and Rudwar and the ship take a damage.
Oh.
As he is now out of exploding traps, Gordon.
Well, I believe I'll go ahead and damage. What should I damage? Hull?
Sounds about right. Or is Hull for ramming?
You know what? No, I'm going to keep it like this. You know what? No, I'm going to change it. Holden, you didn't take damage.
Actually,
the ship
screw
did.
that. Engine.
The ship did, but the cut I'm going to throw to you from the explosion is you get separated from Rudwar.
All right.
You get blown in opposite ends of the hallway just because of how the positioning ended up working. Like you both kind of like were getting ready to kind of maybe pincer it so you don't get ambushed, and it did not work out that way.
Cool.
So you don't take damage, you just get separated from Rudwar, which is going to be great because now we get to introduce Bob. So you get up for the second time in the last hour with your head ringing, and for a moment you're not in the Necrobore. For a moment you're in a big open room, like as it goes on for maybe like a football field, and it has all white lighting and glass panels, and you can tell you're deep underwater. In the center of the room is a man in what looks like a straitjacket or like mummification robes writhing, and you can't see anything about him, but wires coming out of his back. You see Tora again, super old, and she's looking at you, and she says those words, "That can't be you. I've killed you." But she's not looking at you when she says it. What do you do in this moment?
Tora?
She doesn't recognize you or acknowledge you at all. She's staring right past you.
Look over my shoulder.
You're now back on the Necrobore, and Rudwar is slammed up against the wall while that droid's there. It's all broken and damaged, and that black goo that came out of the data drive on the event horizon is oozing out of all of its joints and access points and eyes and mouth. And its face has been like smashed up to be into a smile now as it's laughing, as he is slamming Rudwar's head over and over again against the bulkhead. All of his cuts are hard cuts. Rudwar takes another damage.
Okay, so wait. So Rudwar did take damage before?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, you made it sound like we just got separated.
But you got separated. Rudwar took damage.
Okay, so he's up to... I didn't have damage marked on him before from that earlier explosion. So is he at 1 or 2 now?
He'd be at... he would have damage from the earlier explosion. Unless you shared a meal with him quickly or had a healing power on hand. He did.
I have no healing powers, and we have not had time for lunch.
No, not at all. Unfortunately, that means that he gets taken out. Not in a murdered way, but like he is unconscious right now, and the droid just drops its head and turns 360 degrees to look at you.
I mean, I think they lose bones if they don't have stats to damage.
Do they? I thought they got taken out when all their stats are damaged. You could push them harder if you really wanted.
Maybe.
I mean, he could be still up. Like pushing the bond would be getting him to get up while he's like been like concussioned basically.
Yeah.
You can force a little bit of extra juice out of Rudwar if you really have to. But for the moment, he slumps to the ground up against the wall, his arms and legs splayed out like a doll with a clear goose egg and a dent in the durasteel as the droid turns itself to look at you. So this is your new situation. This is your new life.
Excellent.
I know your face.
Do you now?
Can I borrow it?
I think not.
Yeah, my boss keeps going on and on about you people. I can't deal with it anymore. The voice doesn't come from the droid, it comes from inside the metal. Like it's bubbling out with the oil.
I'm circling him, lining up a shot with the lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
what does he have to say?
Oh, you bleeding hearts, and you're so sad about people, and you don't want to see any suffering, but you can't help it because there's a war. Ugh. He's such a loser.
Then why do you serve him?
Because it's funny. We like pathetic things. Can I keep your face? Separate question, not connected to that previous statement.
And let's see how well a lightsaber does against a trash droid.
Yeah, go for it.
What do I go for? I don't know that I have advantage here.
Oh, he's canny, and he's a supernatural deadite demon, so you're going to have to do something to get advantage on him because he is squaring up on you. Now, you do have companions on the ship, like the co-pilots there and Taurus still in play, and they still have at least one stat, I think. So if you want to have someone... Okay, so if you want to use Tora, I have a setup for her giving you advantage.
Oh, gosh.
Sure, I will go ahead and... I guess I damage her Jedi Padawan stat?
Perfect. That would be the perfect stat for her to use in this situation because the stat informs why. So you hear a loud, angry yelling as Tora is coming down the hallway with something on a grav train. It's part of the engine. It's like part of the stuff that's used to calibrate. It's a big, heavy hammer, and she just slides it directly into the droid and slams it up against the wall and shoots the panel so the door comes down and pins him pincered between that and the door. So it's like being slowly crushed by two things.
Yeah, that's a good time to go to set 2 with the lightsaber.
You have to dismember it.
Well, that's...
She just yells it out.
Right tool for the job for that.
Make sure not to start with one of the arms. Just in case. Because that would be damn bullshit.
Oh, I'm starting from the legs up, yeah.
You have advantage.
Cool.
She immediately breaks from what you're doing and runs over to Rudwar and starts to drag him out of here. So she's now out, trying to get him out of here into safety so he's not hunted for sport again.
And that would be a 14.
And that'd be instant destruction because I have nothing else to stop that. So you just take out Bob in his current body.
What did you take him out with?
That was with blood.
Definitely blood. All right, Bob's gone. You just hack him up. He's like, always next time, always next time. A good soldier follows orders.
Roger, Roger.
And you just hack him up as he's laughing. Yeah, Tor's dragging Rudwar, who's bleeding out, to sickbay.
Yeah, we need to get him patched up.
Just then, you hear someone board.
Yeah.
Tap the comm. Dreadnought?
I assume that's me.
That is you.
I'm on board. What's the situation?
We've just repelled a boarder. It was that thing from the Event Horizon. Rudwar's injured. We're taking him to sickbay. Can you take the helm?
Definitely. I should have known 3 Jedi would have been able to take it out on their own.
We've just gotten a distress call from the assault team, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. We've just gotten a distress call from the infiltration team. They need backup.
All right, so you head to the bridge and you get out of your mech and start driving the ship down. The bridge has been blown up, by the way, by a claymore.
Why?
It doesn't look too hot.
Do I have time to use one of my medical healing kit thingies? Or
yeah, you can help the doctor with that, absolutely.
Yeah.
What does the ship's medbay do, by the way? Do we establish that? Repair bay special? Oh, you didn't buy a medbay.
We don't have a medbay.
We do have a doctor.
doctor
We do have a doctor, so that's
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a doctor. You gain 1 crew per day of travel up to your maximum. What?
Crew.
Days?
Yeah.
They still have days? I thought
Pardon
they
me.
took out the days.
It's fine. We'll ask about it later. It's okay. Christ. Anyway, so yeah, you go to the bridge. You're at the med bay. Oh, Kim, you're there with the Republican, right? All right, so you and the Republican are starting to like head back into the ship proper, like get to your assigned stations. When the Republican is trying to walk forward, and his hand slams into the wall and grips onto it, and he just like can't move, and he's trying to walk forward, and his hand won't let go. What do you do?
I stop, observe him, because usually the hand knows something we don't. So, but most of the time the Republican doesn't know it either. So, I say, hey, are you thinking about going the other direction?
He turns, having a face messed up like Bob and Mike usually have, and is trying to lunge at you, and then his hand grabs him by the collar and slams him into a wall.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay.
Does he technically count as not having an arm?
I mean, Mike thought so when he tried the jump, but it's clearly not working out for him. So the Republican's trying to kill you, but he's being beaten up by himself. Like, his mechanical arm is grabbing, like, pieces of metal and plates and smashing them into his head and strangling him and, like, just punching him over and over. And the look on the Republican's face is, like, concern and shock, like it doesn't know what's going on.
Who's hitting me? I can't see.
I'm a bit taken aback at this scene.
Does anyone else see this or just her?
You're the only one that's not busy currently as a fight scene's playing out, a one-sided fight scene. He's Tyler Durdening himself. Like, right now he has his head in the food Camtano and is just slamming the door on his own head.
I probably don't know what's going on, so I'm just sort of taken aback and not quite sure who to help in this situation.
Zevin, you pick up a bad feeling.
I'm going to leave Tora
The
for the first aid, and the doctor with the first aid kit.
They give you a thumbs up.
Okay, and head back to see what's going on.
But in
this scene is playing out essentially.
I do pick up something in case I need to use it for self-defense.
You enter and this scene from The Evil Dead is playing out. Except in this scenario, the hand is the good guy.
Jedi Zevin, something is wrong with the Republican.
And his face looks like the face of all those things that get possessed by Mike and Bob. Like, it's clear.
Oh, hang on a second. How did Kim get back with us?
Came on with the Jedi.
Okay.
All right, with Dreadnought.
Yeah.
The opposite of a Jedi.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Zevin's obviously taken aback for a moment.
What should we do here?
At this point, the arm is using his own helmet to bash his face in.
Does anyone have any ability to
exorcise ghosts?
Yeah, or knock him out or something? Like, it'd be great if he was just unconscious. Well, no, actually, him being unconscious might mean that the thing inside him can take over more. God damn.
He's also Jello, so he's hard to knock out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do the stupidest thing I can think of.
Oh no.
Which is to lay hands on our mellified buddy and try and use the force to drive this thing out.
Yeah, good enough for me. Use the light from your lantern, basically. He stops stumbling around. You're not even going to have to roll for this. He just stops stumbling around, and the arm, immediately sees his opportunity, grabs onto the side of the wall, and hurls their body down the hall, grabs onto the airlock, opens it, and pulls him in and keeps punching him in the face while he slams the airlock button and jettisons himself out.
Oh, shit.
Whoa!
The arm gives you the thumbs up before the airlock opens up, by the way.
Well...
What?
Now he's just someone else's problem, though.
The arm gave you the thumbs up. The universal sign for this is not going to bite you in the ass. All right? God.
Now I'm just thinking that since Kim has those stat-shredding powers, and those two seem to be recurring villains, if we shred their stats, they'll be less and less dangerous with each passing time.
I guess I don't have any idea how that would make sense. Like, it just does. I don't know how she could fence the evil out of them. Like, I'm begging you for Steph, at least get yourself like a paladin sword or a holy avenger before you do it.
Actually, I would talk the evil out of them.
I'm gonna talk that evil out of you.
Hey, Bob, you ever seen the orb before, bitch?
It knows about the orb, and
Jeez.
not only does it know about the orb is inimical to its type of life.
Oh, God. Well, the good news is I'm pretty sure he's going to survive face planting into the crater. The bad news is I'm pretty sure he's going to survive face planting into the crater.
I think he's not our problem for a little while, though. But I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
I had to think of a way for Mike to show up without actually causing you a problem. Like, he probably tried to possess the Republican because he's a one-armed, kind of dead guy. And, like, he's like, I can jump into that. That makes sense to me. I can possess that like a deadite. And he's like, uh-oh.
There's something wrong with this one.
Now you're stuck in it, buddy.
I am trying to telegraph that these things can make mistakes and aren't omniscient. Sometimes they fuck up.
Right? Especially because, according to the Republican himself, he doesn't have an arm. So, from the inside, it seems like that should have worked. And then he's in it, and he can't see the metal arm anymore, and all of a sudden he's getting beat up by nothing, and he's like, wait, what is happening?
I have a blind spot here.
Yeah.
Something's going on. Someone's to blame. Okay,
Well,
we're now going to...
We'll try and loop back and find him later. We've got a distress call coming from the tunnels.
Also, what did you do to my ship?
Oh, yeah, about that.
We'll also
what?
loop back to that
It's a bit
later.
drafty.
Also, an escape pod was launched the moment Bob showed up. That's what the Mandalorian did. She booked. She was going to wait, but then Bob showed up, and she's like, bye. Boom. I don't get possessed by no ghost.
Can't particularly blame her.
I don't want that to happen to me.
Right?
So, we will cut back to the conversation. Like, you guys immediately start burrowing into the ground to, like, drive to them as quickly as possible, I'm assuming, right? Yeah. Okay. We will spin the spotlight then back to you guys as, like, you're saying that, help's coming in, but this kind of delayed it, and now you'll be able to come on scene, basically, once we get past Peter's roleplay side.
Oh, boy.
So, Pete, you all ready for this?
I guess.
Okay, so you've just been power drived into the ground, and dominance has been asserted by Chet Satan. He smacks his
posing
hand.
at you?
Yeah, a little. Like he puts his fist together. He puts his fist together. And he's like, "All right, then, you ready for this? I've been waiting my whole life for a proper challenge."
Okay, I just jump to my feet. How do we
wait.
do this?
Well, I figure what we should do is have a nice honorable sucker punch hard cut. He does damage.
Oof. I'll damage my grace.
He just punches you right in the face.
Oof, right in the grace.
You fool! In Teräs Käsi, there is no honor or fair play.
I just reel back from the bit and then put my finger off. Okay, zigzag, and I damage my Zillow Beast sense evil and just lunge at him from the side.
Okay, so a Zillow Beast, a baby armored Zillow Beast, comes roaring out of the shadows, picks up Chet Satan, who looks like he's evil, and just starts swinging him against the wall with its arm over and over again.
And then I go for finishing him.
Yeah, go for it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I rolled a 7. Let's see, and I'm using my sword, which is piercing, so what do damage on him?
Yeah, you should pretty pick, because the Zillow Beast is larger than him, and that means he can hard cut kill it.
Oh.
You've given him the worst foe possible, something bigger than him.
Alright, I'll damage his. How did they fall?
No, I need that move to do hard cuts to you.
Oh,
No. That's not fair. Okay, so yeah, it slams on the ground in front of you, and you just, I guess, start punching him.
Stabbing him with a sword.
Stabbing him with a sword. He's like, can I give up now? I would like to choose to give up and admit that you're better than me. And live.
Don't do it.
Can I?
Yells.
No, it's for, last time I cheated, but this time it's for reals because I'm hurt.
Well, if he does, accept defeat, that means I get to make a bond with him.
I just want to give up. I just don't want to be in this situation anymore. Can I please choose that?
Well, if he does give up, do forge a bond with him, then yes.
Are you allowing him to live, yes or no? I need to know the answer.
Sure, I'll let him live.
Okay, you can forge a bond with him. It's fine. He just puts his hands down and he's like, "You have defeated me. You're better than me. I could not be prouder of how this turned out. You clearly are the superior foe."
You mastered the ancient art of befriending a Zillow beast.
No, he's literally saying, "You truly are the master of Teräs Käsi."
I high five my zigzag.
Yeah, and high fives back. And by defeating him, you inherit the title of Teräs Käsi Master. Put it on your sheet as a one-use usable thing, and it'll come up later, like a druid in D&D.
Oh my
or a monk in D&D. And Satan will just lie down. He'll just lie down on the ground and just start to play dead. He was so ready for this. His entire life was set up for this. He wants to live.
I mean, fair. Maybe one day he'll be able to take the title back.
No, he's good. He doesn't want a Godzilla to beat him up again. Because you have a Godzilla with you.
That's not the only thing I have with me.
I almost think from fictional positioning, he'd have a hard time hurting the Zillow Beast because the Zillow Beast was indestructible.
The only way you can really hurt them is, they're immune to lightsabers, guys. The only ways you can really hurt them is by peeling off their plating to get underneath, and even so, you have to have really strong shit to get through their skin.
So
yeah, indestructible.
You jump inside of it.
Yeah, his option would have been let him eat it, and they could punch his way out. He's like, the skin on the inside will be weaker than the skin on the outside. It's like it's all skin all the way through. Every part of him is skin.
So, I couldn't know to the next person.
Okay, so the person with an Elvanian helmet wearing clone armor that's been colored and modified is just sitting there watching that play out.
So, what's your skin in the game?
Oh, I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, what did I do?
Well, it's obvious. You're Ghost Hand. And she'll take off her helmet, revealing she's an Elvanian with the tattooing all on her. And clip it to her back.
I look at both my hands. I'm not sure I'm Ghost Hand.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll grow into it.
Well, okay. So, want to help us stop Lord Marshal?
I work for the Lord Marshal.
Would you like to work for someone else?
Nope. I'm going to stick by the Lord Marshal. It's important.
Will you get in our way?
Well, you're Ghost Hand, and I got to make sure that you get up there. I'm here for you. I'm a support person. I'm here to make sure you're exactly everything you can be.
Okay, that doesn't sound ominous at all. So, Carriers, are you done with your family reunion?
Are we done here, brother?
Oh, that just happened to Chet. God.
Yeah.
Come with. Are we done here? No, I'm trying to convince you to come with me. Are you on spice?
He did have the spice, yes.
Well, look. We're going a little circular here. You want me to come with you. I want you to come with me. How about we both just part ways, call it a day, and call each other later?
Maybe bring your evidence with you next time.
That's not how evidence works. You have to come see it at my computer.
Just send me an email? I don't know.
I'm not going to send you a holovid. That's not how that works.
Okay, well, look, I'll come visit you in a little while if I have some downtime.
You can't go down that tunnel.
But you realize telling me I can't do that makes me want to do it more.
Can't or shouldn't?
He makes that clicking sound like, oh.
So, Carriers, should I yeet you down the tunnel?
Don't eat me down the tunnel. I'm currently bleeding pretty good here. But thank you for the offer. Look, why don't you want us to go down the tunnel so bad? Why do you... What's...
You're not ready for what's in that tunnel.
Oh, that's just... I desperately need to go down this tunnel.
You could just walk away.
Yeah, but you've now made it a whole thing.
It is a whole thing. Everything's a whole thing these days.
I know.
You have to stop gallivanting off like you're some sort of folk hero. This isn't a story. This is life. And if you go down that tunnel, you'll die.
I don't know. I'm feeling... I mean, I could use a snack, but I'm feeling not too bad.
This isn't a game of stratagema. You're gambling with you and your friends' lives.
Well, then gamble on the side with us, brother, and we'll win.
He just shakes his head and just sits back down in the chair, the sabacc table, and just doesn't put up any more resistance.
Okay. Well, I will call you later, brother. When I've figured out what's at the end of this tunnel. Okay. Thank you. And I just walk past him.
All of the outline of him that makes him a spider person melts, revealing just like a dude in like a black full bodysuit with like a tragedy comedy mask on.
What the heck are you?
Oh, you don't know who I am?
No.
Really?
Why? Where is my brother? What is going on here?
The role of Admiral Trench, your brother, was played tonight by Chevron Laser Prime, the world's greatest actor. Your brother sent me to act as him in hopes of convincing you not to go down that tunnel, but also didn't want to physically be present here unless you or your friends stabbed him.
Probably wise.
He should know better than to think I would stab him that quickly.
He normally would think that, but I think for some reason he's overly paranoid. When I was looking into the role, I could feel a lot of fear, sense a lot of dread, and a lot of like confused thoughts. You know, very engaging part to play.
Interesting. I'm very confused right now because I thought I had a nice heart-to-heart with my brother.
You did.
And I didn't.
That's exactly how your brother would have responded to that conversation.
Yeah, but my brother didn't hear all my points.
Oh no, I kept my communicator on the whole time.
Oh. Okay.
It's recording. I'll just send him the file. He'll get his half.
I feel a little better about this now, but I kind of want a minute to process this, okay? This is a lot.
He starts to just see your brother melt.
Yeah.
He remelts into you, and he's like, yeah, I can really understand it. There's a lot of feelings going on in here I'm feeling right now. It's betrayal and confusion and wonder. That guy was such a great actor. How could he act so well like this?
Shining Peak, eat me down the hallway.
Should I eat you both down the hallway?
No!
It's like, oh no, I don't know which one's the real one.
He starts walking beside him, being like, which one is the real one? And he like moves on either side of him. You're being confused by us because we're identical.
I mean, you already looked pretty similar before, and now it's even more so.
Sicarius is just sitting on the ground. Oh no.
He's having a bit of an identity crisis.
I guess the one that's not crying is not Sicarius.
They're both crying.
Oh. Well, I picked them up in a hug and just walked down the corridor.
I guess we're taking both.
Who are you taking with you down the corridor?
Sicarius and everybody else, I guess.
Are you going to leave Chet Satan behind?
I mean, he's my companion, so I guess he comes with now.
I mean, I could come with, but you did stab me like 2 minutes ago. Can I like tap out of this one because you stabbed me?
Sure.
I feel like I should get a sick day.
I need a sick day. What is going on?
Well, if you'd be working for Sicarius, maybe he'd get a sick day. Walking and talking.
All right, and at that moment, you hear a rumbling sound as through that giant crevice this area takes place in. The ship finally drills its way through and lands and can actually have space to maneuver in here and land.
Oh. Well, it's nice to have everybody here, I guess. Hi, wave. Wave, Sicarius, and Sicarius.
I'm gonna get on the comms and be like,
There's two of them now.
Is everyone else seeing this?
They're both waving and mirroring each other.
Yeah, both Sicariuses are weeping.
There's two of them now.
Sicarius, yeah, I knew Trench was your brother, but you had a twin?
It's so much. Why?
I did it. I did it. I took a player out by using the stupidest thing possible.
Psychological identity crisis.
By the way, for the listeners, what we are encountering right now is the organization stat block, the Nameless. Look it up.
So you're
Ryan's just looking through the cockpit windscreens.
You hear over the comms, but why are there two Sicariuses?
I don't know.
So definitely, you pulled a reverse killer queen here.
Yeah, I did. Pull a reverse killer queen.
It's good. It's amazing.
Huh. Okay, well, I guess we should just ignore it for now and keep going. And Sicarius will presumably calm down eventually, and one of them will be able to explain to us what's happening. Are they actually both Sicarius? Like, they're not just twins?
I don't know.
They are literally...
I'm asking this on comms, by the way, so everyone can hear.
Yes, down to the very bones and so on.
Wait, which one has spiders?
They both do.
You have the spiders now.
All the spiders.
They're perfectly mirroring each other in every way.
It's probably for the best.
I'm going to turn to oh wait, no, Shining Peak is also Force sensitive. So I'm gonna and you're not getting any kind of bad feeling about this, like those creeps that keep possessing people?
I mean, I get a bad feeling from all the spiders, but...
Crawling all over you, considering you're holding both of them.
But I'm used to it now.
Okay, okay, I guess just shove this down with some brown and continue on.
We have brown milk now?
Tora and Rudolph, keep the ship running. We may need to get out of here in a hurry.
Tora nods, gives you a thumbs up, and lights up a death stick to give her a stimulant. She's like, "Oh, it's one of these days."
Oh boy!
I always picture Tora as a 13-year-old, and I'm like, you shouldn't be smoking. And then I forget that she's actually a full-grown person.
And also, death sticks aren't cigarettes; they're a combat stim. They're meth.
That makes it worse.
She's smoking trucker stimulants.
Yes, I added another conversation we need to have to the backlog.
The Jedi Order has never explicitly said you're not allowed to be addicted to meth.
I'm pretty sure that goes against most of their tenets, but okay.
They don't, the letter of the law.
I mean, it's war times. Everybody gets some stims.
Sometimes you got to get a little soft with things. Also, she'll pass you one of the guys to the pack if anyone needs a pick-me-up, because some of you seem a little worn out.
I mean, it should have been in here in the Straight Messiah for 10 years, guys. Nobody cares.
Anyway, if no one says yes, we're moving on. The last thing that happens before you guys decide to cut a scene is you hear a bunch of banging, clattering, and noise and some rock shifting from above you as a body falls all the way down from that hole you made and slams in front of you in a broken heap. It's the Republican.
I will get into a combat stance just in case.
Yeah, all of his limbs and bones have
Wait, I assume you guys told me about that, though, right?
Yeah, you guys know about that. Anyway,
Okay.
all of his misshapen and twisted around limbs reset themselves pretty quickly until he's, back to a normal Stretch Armstrong, and he just gets up and looks normal. Hey, guys!
Hi.
Hey, I'm gonna nod towards the arm and be like, hey, we all good? And I'll give a thumbs up and be
The arm, covered in his own blood, gives a thumbs up.
Okay.
We know he has blood.
That's
it's that
a good
blue
sign.
antifreeze that keeps coming out of him that I keep constantly describing.
I
If
mean,
I describe the
Yeah,
Republican,
but we didn't realize it would also be considered blood. I think that's what we're saying. Because you say blood and we assume red.
I have
That's not
said
what we meant.
every time I describe him, I describe that every fluid he leaks that he is filled with is antifreeze mixed with Colto. That is the only fluid in his system.
okay. So it's covered in blue milk.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
yeah. Anyway, thumbs up. Republican is none the wiser.
Well, he seems to have sorted himself out. Concerningly.
Next time, just throw it in the blender.
So the next scene will be you guys going to this where the stellar intelligence is. So my question to you is, what kind of prep work do you do before you go on in?
Are we able to... Like, we're on a time limit, right? We can't really take a rest.
I mean, you could take a brief rest. Like, it's not going to matter in the long run here.
You
Well-
could eat.
If this was Final Fantasy, you could set up a cabin on the save point to get back your HP and your MP.
I'm going to eat some food, weeping, and share it with my spiders then.
Yeah, guys, keep a track of what's damaged and stuff for sharing food. Eventually, one of the Sicariuses melts into goo until it's a dude in a black bodysuit with a comedy tragedy mask, and he just stands up, looks at you all, and just starts walking away.
At that point, Sicarius, who had almost made it back to sanity, just starts just confused and sad again.
I think he called himself Chevron Laser Prime. Whatever that would mean.
So
He's
how
a
did
Why
Chevron.
didn't you tell us beforehand? If you knew that it wasn't him, why didn't you say so?
Because at the moment he was Sicarius. So, you don't call an actor by, his people name when he's in the role.
You can't use his people name?
For those of you who live outside the Strait of Messina, Chevron Laser is a famous holovid star, like multi-picture spanning the galaxy famous. He went missing when the Clone Wars started.
What the fuck?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, that happened.
So
I
how
heard he's
exactly
famous.
does share a meal work to...
So you eat food, you heal, and if you all sit together and share, one single extra heal pops out of it.
Okay.
And if you feed food to your companions, they heal. Num num.
Well, I've got lots of food and a couple of slow healing poultices if anybody needs it.
Yeah, I've got one med kit, and I've got a fair bit of food.
Hey, Devin?
Yeah.
My last session, I damaged a bond with a companion, but that doesn't damage the actual companion.
No.
So what does that mean?
It means you erase a bond with them.
Yeah, so they have no more bonds.
Oh, then they leave.
Okay, so the droid just leaves?
Well, he's too damaged to function right now, basically. Like, his logic circuits are fried, so you're going to need time to, reestablish his identity.
You
Okay.
can spend a scene with him to, reestablish a friendship, and then he'll come back as a companion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even a food eating scene where you start fixing him up and form a bond with him.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can I just start working on him here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else are people doing?
Well, I'm just... Who needs... Okay, first of all, who's damaged?
I've healed myself because I ate a food.
I healed myself, and I can only heal me and my spiders because I only have spider food.
I have food to share if anybody else needs some.
I have a healing kit. Do you have more than one damage?
I do have one additional point of damage.
Okay, you want the healing kit?
I think.
I don't think we need the
Shining
healing
Peak has-
kit because we're all sitting down and sharing a meal, so there's an
He
extra
can't share
healing.
meals. He can't share meals.
Oh
No, I believe I can share meals. I just can't share my food. with
Everybody, wait a minute. You're all eating together.
Mhm.
One heal pops out extra. It doesn't have to be Ian.
I
You're all
know.
sitting down and sharing a meal. It counts. He doesn't have to
Yep.
do anything extra. He just has to eat spider food.
We know. We're just saying,
Okay.
people thought that Ian couldn't take that healing, but
Okay,
he
he
can,
can.
so it's fine.
Yeah, it's just generated out of numinous ether. It's not really. You don't have to hard rule it down. It just is there.
All right. And I believe Shining Peak has taken 2 damage.
I mean, yeah, I'm using my A, healing light, and B, my ton of food. And, I guess give that to my companions to heal. I established also a pecking order. So I eat first, then Zilobis, then the Rancor, and then Chet
fuck.
Satan.
Fuck me. So, guys,
Yeah?
you guys, this is the first time you've noticed that Shining Peak has a Zillow Beast, even though it was in the cargo hold under a tarp sleeping the whole time. You heard about the Zillow Beast attack on Coruscant. It was this, but
I was
bigger.
there.
You were there, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't, like, there, but, like, I was on planet at the time and saw clips of it.
I mean, it's hard not to hear about, the Supreme Chancellor being attacked by some, giant beast.
There's literally found footage from like someone's holovid recorder of the Chancellor riding on an astromech droid, avoiding being eaten by this thing in a comical manner.
I have that clip saved. I just watch it sometimes, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that in front of the Jedi because it's probably disrespectful to the Supreme Chancellor, but it's funny as hell.
It's a confusing scene for sure. You don't
He's this
really
little
understand.
old man on top of a little astromech that's flying away, and it's just the silliest thing possible.
You're a clone trooper, so you know that's not any astromech. That's General Skywalker's pet.
That makes it better.
General Skywalker's
That
goddamn.
droid was fucking personally thanked by multiple royalties of planets.
Technically, that droid gets a little bit more respect than you do because you're one of the troops, and it's
Yeah,
the most
that
famous-
droid gets more respect than Chewbacca. Well, Chewbacca didn't happen yet, I guess, but whatever.
So I think in the Star Wars fandom, like the easiest low-key way of making people upset would be to say that R2's memories got wiped. Just like add in some movie.
I mean, it's obvious he probably did because there's a huge plot points with him knowing the Clone Wars. Just aggressive plot points that just fall apart because R2 could just talk to Luke at any time. Be like, oh shit, Vader, I know that dog. Let me tell you, here's a list of all his fears and weaknesses.
All you have to tell him is that his mom would be disappointed in him. Trust me.
Yeah, drop the word shmee around him, see what happens.
Does he like Sheev because his name sounds like his mom's name?
We're moving on, so you guys all have a meal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I call the rest of my guys in.
Yeah,
They all arrive.
Burn one of my meals to heal up one of the damage to Torah, I think, then. Okay, cool. Got it.
Good,
Sorry, go on.
So yeah, you all sit down and eat. Do you have anything you want to talk about before you go down there? You sense a great disturbance in the Force ahead of you. Something cold.
Well, for starters, I asked Seven about the busted up droid leaking black ooze in the hallway.
Oh yeah, that happened. In the background, you can see Tor throwing it out the window into a pyre that she has started on the ground.
Well, it appears that a dead droid is dead enough for the whatever forces loose in this sector to work with it. One of the beings, the entities from the event horizon, possessed an assassin droid that we destroyed when it boarded the ship.
That
To be fair, it is an assassin and it is a droid, but it's not an assassin droid.
But still, that raises so many philosophical questions.
Thank you, General Poindexter. Yeah.
I think it makes sense. It probably couldn't possess like a battle droid right off the rack, but if it's been around long enough and had its own personal experiences, it becomes enough of its own person.
Yes, well, yes, I agree. I've been arguing that for decades.
For 1,000 generations.
It literally took the devil confirming he can possess droids for people to realize that they have souls and can belong to the church.
My God.
They're like, it's airtight. The devil can possess you. Welcome to the church. You have rights now.
You clearly have a soul, so yeah, okay.
Thanks, the devil.
That was his plan all along.
My point being that whatever power they're drawing on, it doesn't seem to be based in flesh, but rather in death itself.
Interesting.
Kind of metaphysics of the soul. I
Oh
guess.
yeah, it's all weird. Chet Satan says as he's eating his food from a bowl. It's noodles.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Who are you?
I get to eat. I'm the guy that gets to eat fourth. He gives a thumbs up to Shining Peak.
Yeah. The Zilla Beast, remember, he's lower in the pecking order than the Zilla Beast.
And the Rancor, which is here. There's a Rancor here.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
hello, fourth guy.
Hey, I'm Chet Satan, former master of Teräs Käsi. Nice to meet you. I was recently stabbed by your friend, and now I work with her because she stabbed me.
Makes sense.
That is certainly a way to develop friendships.
Are you guys talking about the killers, though?
Yes.
I mean,
The killers.
The
Yeah,
killers?
the killers. They come in a pair of three.
Three.
Yeah,
Three?
Bob, Mike, and Croc.
Killer Croc. We fought that guy. I didn't think he was the same type of thing. He seemed to just be a guy.
Have you ever seen a Trandoshan that looks like that?
No.
He smiles. There we go. There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Shame about him being fired, but hey, got us a job.
Fired?
Oh yeah, Lord Marshal was super pissed after you guys beat him up. He had to be, air quotes, punished.
That
Is
sounds ominous.
Is he destroyed?
I mean, that would probably be what he prefers, as far as I know. What went down. So, like, you guys are like a whole thing, eh? I didn't realize that we actually had like people opposing the Lord Marshal. I thought it was just like, individual people. You're like a thing. We didn't know there was like a thing of people here. That's crazy. Are you like a Jedi? You have a lightsaber on your belt. You're a Jedi, right? You're a Jedi. I've clocked you as a Jedi. You're a Jedi. You're not going to hide that from me, right?
I am.
Okay. Just cool. Yeah, so like, what is this? Like a Republic anti-death cult force?
Something
Not
like
all of
that.
us are from the Republic, but we're mostly just a coalition that have joined together in the Strait of Messina to stop this death cult because it's insane.
I'm mostly just a concerned third party.
Huh. Oh wait, you're 411 KM.
Yes, I am.
Oh man. Oh, okay. No, yeah, I heard a lot about you from your sibling.
Oh, that guy.
Terminal finances.
Yeah, he sucks.
Finances, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he sucks. He cheats at Stratagema because he's a
Yes,
droid.
he does. And Batten.
And Batten?
I'm just making up card games here.
Oh, okay. Stratagema is an actual game from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Because I'm like that.
Let's play some Realm.
To be fair, though, I hear he couldn't cheat too well at the ancient game of Coruscant.
Everyone laughs who isn't a PC.
Yes, that was very satisfying.
Oh, god
Yeah,
damn.
you guys all have a nice meal. If you want to forge bonds with NPCs, this is the opportunity I've presented to do it, because you all just had a nice hangout together.
Can I form a bond with the Zillow Beast?
Yeah.
Yay. I actually do want to like hang out with it in the dock and stuff because it like can sense evil and stuff.
Yeah, I can.
Like it's actually an intelligent creature. It's not just a beast. It's like a
Like, if you walk over to it and you're talking to it, it'll draw like a triangle in the ground badly and try to do the shapes.
oh well, hey buddy. His name's Zigzag.
Yep.
So are we all healed up to max?
You all got your bonds formed? You all got your healing done? Because this is going to be it.
Yeah, I'll hang out with my Mandalorians and chat with them a bit.
Yeah, they're excited. They're happy to be here. They're sad that the son of the Scalds passed away recently. That's a bit of a bummer for this really fun day.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh my god, do you think his sister knows yet? Mara? No, she went off planet. She doesn't know anything about this.
Well, the important thing was he went with honor.
They nod. Yeah, no, it is pretty important. He was a good son and a dear friend.
We shall all mourn his loss.
As a side note, that call Mara got earlier where she like left the battle was her dad being like, hey, your brother died. You got to come home. This is real. You got to stop doing whatever you're doing. She's like, oh, shit, I got to go. That was her calling time out, by the way. She's like, I gotta take this call. It's for my dad.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
I mean, to be fair, they weren't speaking the language that you understood when they were agreeing to it.
They were speaking Mando. Okay, well, if you're all ready then, I'm going to put a pause on the recording, and we will enter into the showdown.
Oh boy.
Okay, gang. So, you continue down the tunnels. The tunnels give way to, like, turbo lift.
Wait. Before we go down, I try to use the ship sensors, or anything left of them, to see what's down the tunnel.
A bunch of interference from a bunch of exotic particles you don't understand or comprehend that the ship sensors aren't calibrated to properly flesh out. There's something down there, and it isn't normal.
Okay. All right. Now we can proceed.
So, the cave system and the natural ice formations and the stone that's thawing out from under it start to give way to structured mechanical concepts and, designed architecture, as you're clearly now in... they're in the belly of a capital ship, a large Republic ship. Like, you just tell from the way the hallways are made, the doors are done, the way panels are installed. This vessel wasn't meant to just go from system to system. This vessel was meant to ferry precious cargo and be heavily armored and defended. Your travels eventually bring you to a main turbolift artery within the system, much larger than normal, probably a cargo elevator that's clearly been recently used as it has power. If you go inside, and no one's saying otherwise, so I'm assuming you go in to just give it a check, it has a destination lit up from here, and it is what they call, I think they call it Exotic Materials Containment Command Center.
Well, that's...
Exotic material... Okay.
This looks like our destination.
If I was smarter... or cleverer, I would have it spell out Mike in an anagram, forwards or backwards, but I forgot to do that.
So I was gonna say, I'm like, exotic materials. I'm like, Devin, you fucked it up. You were trying to spell Mike.
I did. Just assume it spells Mike and move on. Move on with it. I'm not on every day, only most days.
It spells Mike in common.
Yeah. So, you hit the button, the turbolift closes with all of your many, many, many people on board.
Many people and other things.
And the Zilla-Beast and a Rancor.
Yeah. Zilla-Beast, yes.
Yeah.
We all crowd very uncomfortably into the...
Group hug.
into the elevator.
Mandalorians are very huggy.
So are Wampas.
Oh, God. Do you have Wampas here? Did you bring Wampas, Nicole? The group of them?
I mean, they were in the crater.
Did you bring them with you on the ship? No, you didn't bring them on your mech. You can only bring so many people.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess they're still in the crater fighting.
Yeah, but I waited for all of my guys to show up. Did you wait for all of your guys to show up?
Listen, I don't want to get all of these fucking cute teddy bears killed, okay? They're definitely gonna die if we bring them into this situation.
Don't worry, I brought
Only
Bumbles.
just to hurt us.
You brought Bumbles.
Oh, no.
Wampas Thump.
Okay. So, I'm going to remove... no, I guess I'll keep them there when we get up to it. So, yeah, the elevator gives way to a corridor, and the corridor is large, and it looks like it's a service elevator. Like, it looks like, you could bring multiple, speeder cars through here, like maybe two abreast. Like, it's built to haul stuff into it. And as you go down this large cavernous hallway... you notice things. One, the architecture is all twisted and warped and coral-like and spitted, spiked up the way ferrofluid is when exposed to a strong magnetic current. The way it builds up on itself and writhes and kind of rhythmically changes and becomes spikes and goes back to being flat. That is actively happening. It's not a past tense. It's melting and churning right now as you walk down the hallway.
Oh, that ain't good.
Oh boy.
The next thing you start to notice is the damage to this place. It's been torn apart. Like, panels have been ripped up everywhere. There's wiring and stuff hanging out and sparks going off and light panels trying to come online. But the light all comes off this weird pale purple color that isn't quite purple, and it's almost like it's a color you can't quite identify. And it's just pulsing through all the damaged circuitry and equipment in here. The large double blast doors are partially opened, and a thick god ray of light is strobing in through smoke and clouds. That is the setup for the elevator now that you're in the scene. I will point out now that due to the nature of the Overlord, no one is allowed to have hope anymore.
Hope is for the weak.
So it means we can work alone without a hindrance.
We all knew we were going in this hard. Might as well be a little harder. Let's.
Oh, Devin, I forgot to do the thing.
The war ritual thing for the
Yeah.
Beast playbook? Well, you forgot. It's fine. You can say you did it. Nicole did a war dance for being the Beast playbook.
Yeah,
To,
probably with the Mandalorians.
Yeah, they all hung out. That was great. They all got ready for it.
They did a haka.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say exactly that, just in case it's a little bit appropriaty, but Tamara Morrison would definitely be playing Nicole's character if it's a clone, so it might be okay. I don't know. I can't make that call.
That's fair. Sorry I brought it up.
I would hire a sensitivity writer to make that call for me.
Oh boy!
Wizards of the Coast.
Our entire podcast would be us saying, "Hi, our name is," and then it would just end.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're better than that.
Okay, we're gonna do a Nickelback. We're Canadian.
We're not a D&D podcast. It'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, but no, you did your like battle ritual to get yourself energized, and you're ready for this, so that is loaded. So the door awaits you. Who wants to take point?
I mean,
I
I
will.
will.
Okay.
There it is.
Maybe Sicarius can look closely, because that's his thing.
Yeah, that's no, because this is a different room.
So you
So?
enter the room and you look closely to get yourself webs.
Fine.
I don't think
I'll
it
do that.
resets on a by route, like on a by doorway
Yeah,
basis.
it's location. This is the same
Yeah.
location.
This is the same location?
Not,
Okay.
not as before, but if you're in the elevator and then you exit the elevator, it's okay to keep the
There
webs
was a
from the
long
elevator.
discussion about how... Yeah, anyways.
Okay, guys,
look
I
closely.
just said Ian keeps his web because he just gained it in that fight he was doing with like his brother and those guys. He gets
Oh, okay.
to keep it. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is like a new
Like better than one web.
yeah, like
Okay.
it's mostly
Two
because this was the
webs.
lead up and the prep work to the boss battle. I'm not going to steal away his prep work from the boss battle, right? Like he engaged to get some web for it.
Makes sense.
Okay. I will do another look closely, though. And it will be I believe it's a 9. Yes, it is 9.
Finds a way out the hard way.
All right, Ian,
Okay.
talk to me.
So, what's going on here? What do my senses tell me as I peek around this door?
Your senses are deafened by what you see as you peek on in. It's perfectly dark inside the command center, but you don't really understand why because there's light everywhere, but the light's being smothered by some sort of darkness. Like, this is a large cavernous room with a giant, visibly lit up with pale light cube in the center, and the cube is, I don't know, maybe the size of half a car. With like weird exotic writings on it and like glassy surfaces, and it's pulsing with this light. And this room is full of alien artifacts, large statues that have been welded to the walls, equipment and display cases that have long since been shattered and tossed over, equipment ripped apart everywhere and cabling down. But it's hard to like get a picture of exactly what's in the room because this oppressive darkness is just pressing through, and like just looking at it and having it hit your many eyes seems to like deafen you like you've been in the middle of an explosion. Something is happening in here, and just from like snippets and strobe light effects, you can kind of make out the vague after images of movement and motion as it trails in between the light shows when you can properly see it. Things are moving in between your blinks, basically. The cube itself, you can see on every surface, there's the impression of like light and shadows of hands pressing up against it and faces like open with open mouths, trying to like press up to it.
Oh, go. Oh, boy.
Okay.
That's question one.
Yeah, that's terrifying. What looks suspicious, out of place, kind of thing?
More
What's hidden?
so.
Yeah,
What?
more so than just the terrifying.
Well, yeah, because all of this
Happening.
is like from one thing. So stuff that would be out of place is stuff from different type of architecture and stuff like
Guys,
that.
we're out of
Yeah.
place.
Well,
Standing,
not us, but
standing in front of the cube with his helmet on, looking down at the ground with his hands behind his back, cupped behind him, is a single clone trooper staring directly ahead of the door, kind of like with his helmet visor angled down on a downward angle.
Wait, staring directly at the door?
Like you're going to come into, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyone else want a question?
Let's see. What other questions are there?
You also just make up a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do I know about this storm? Is there anything interesting about this stormtrooper?
He has
Stormtrooper.
Clone Trooper.
Sorry, clone trooper.
Okay.
Clone trooper.
He has the Lord Marshal's personal Necromonger insignia emblazoned on his Clone Trooper armor.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's my 3 questions.
All right.
So what's the hard way?
I'll let you know about the hard way. The hard way is coming for Sicarius.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, is it so it's just the clone trooper that I see in there, eh?
The best you can make out right now.
Okay. I'll obviously relay this info to the rest of the group.
Just one clone trooper? Easy peasy Jedi squeezy.
That's I mean, and Sicarius moves out of the way, by all means.
Whoa. That's my brother.
Well, he's got the Lord Marshal's insignia on it, so I think that's a traitor.
We'll try to reason with him if it's possible.
Yeah. I have no idea what we should do, guys. Is just him in there?
Dread maybe go first, because clone trooper to clone trooper.
Yeah, I'll go first then.
Perhaps you can reason with him.
Yeah. And is that thing that Devin just described, is that what we're here for?
The cube?
That scary cube with the faces and shit inside?
As far as your plan from the future told you, that is what you should be looking for the stellar intelligence.
Okay, that's horrifying. Good to know.
Is there any reason we actually want to have that thing as opposed to have that thing in a million pieces?
Well, I mean, Future told us to take it.
What?
You're assuming it's destructible.
Yeah, it's like ancient Zepho tech, so we probably can't destroy it.
Well,
from outside the galaxy.
I assume I can destroy most anything with that.
So it sounds like a job for 2 lightsabers.
The Zepho suffered many failures of the material world during their long reign, but mortality in their artifacts was not one of them.
And we definitely don't want the Lord Marshal to have it. Plus, if it's a stellar intelligence to do with the Zepho, they're like a super ancient, like, origin-style Force culture. It'd be valuable for any of the Force users here.
to reestablish something I said earlier when I first introduced the concept of the stellar intelligence, it is said that somewhere in the heart of Coruscant, a Zepho stellar intelligence powers the entire planet's like automation systems and like city constructing. Like the towers that rise up from Coruscant rise up from roots in the ground from fabrication plants deep within the core. And it's said that there's somewhere a Zepho artifact that like runs the whole city's like spreading and growth.
And the entire planet has forgotten about it for thousands of years.
Yeah, but if you're learned enough, like a Jedi, or like you got a good education, that's actually a popular theory on Coruscant, that this is an ancient crown jewel of the old empires.
There's even a specific Jedi who takes it way seriously.
Yes, actually.
Yeah,
Really?
It doesn't take
Jedi
like,
Master Braytak.
Yeah, it doesn't take like Master Yoda to tell that thing does not come from any of the precincts of the Force you particularly want to listen to, though.
Right, and as Dreadnought has mentioned, Jedi Master Braytak, who is famous for his studies of the Zepho, he once posited that early Jedi culture based holocron designs off of stellar intelligences. It's one of the reasons no one likes to talk to him or hang out with him.
He's kind of really focused on his one interest and not really anything else.
Like, he disappeared in the Clone War, no one's ever seen him since.
So you're saying the Jedi have appropriated culture?
Anyway, the next action is yours, and it sounds like there's a lull in the action happening, so...
Yeah,
we're
I'm gonna go. We were just discussing stuff, because people were confused.
Go, Thread, go.
No, it's fine. I'm not trying to rush you along, my bad. I like saying that because it frightens you.
So yeah, I will go out. I'm still going to be in my map.
By the way, it's when we look to you like what happens next.
I know. It also says a lonely action. I know. It's a lot of things.
So I'm still gonna be in my mech because like he knows that this
That's
is my
smart.
mech, and also this is a scary area and it's probably gonna result in a fight. So yeah, I will walk out of the
With
the
your little
elevator.
AT-AT walkers.
Yeah,
And using your big claws, you open the doors
yeah,
and you exit into the room. So your system has like clearly multi like visual inputs and stuff and whatnot.
yes.
And because you have night vision on, you actually see what everyone else who doesn't have night vision isn't seeing. And that's not that this place is covered in darkness. This place has cover. It has a smoke screen going on, and the smoke screen in the night vision and your like exotic sensors that like the Republic installed in your machine, and the stuff you installed from the ancient Mandalorian technology from their old mythosaur.
Mhm.
You are seeing that the area is covered, densely packed with what looks like the outlines of animals and creatures, so overlapped on each other and so struggling and writhing throughout this room that their intangible specter likeness is actually compounding on the light pouring through and obscuring it. This place is full of ghosts.
Oh.
And yeah, even with your night vision on, it's actually harder to see what's going on. You'd have to rely on like pure visual feeds.
Okay.
Or like your little gun holes you can open up in the front, like little like blaster shades. So it will like pour in and the noise will come on in. But yeah, you approach alone. You can't even hear the sound of your own mech stomping from the overwhelming like sensory overload.
Brother, what are you doing in this accursed place?
He looks up. You shouldn't have come here. It's too soon.
I know that you want to get through to me, but you must know that I can't turn against anyone without evidence. I suggest that you let me take this stellar intelligence and we arrange to meet at a neutral location so you can come with that evidence and present it to me.
I'd like that, brother, but there's a problem with your plan.
What's that?
He won't let us leave. And behind him, and you haven't noticed, behind the stellar intelligence, 13 feet tall and looming, with his hands just dangling at his side, is a 13-foot tall death metal skeleton that you previously had not seen there.
Oh.
Listen, brother, I know things are confusing for you right now, and they were confusing for me too. But if I've learned anything, it's that sometimes you gotta trust your gut. And I need you to look at me. Look at my face. He takes off his helmet. Look at it. I'm you. If you were me right now, you'd be doing everything I'm doing. You gotta trust that part of yourself, and you gotta take me on faith here. You don't want to be here right now. You don't want to get involved in this. Come meet us on Korriban. We can show you what's happening. We can show you the solution. We can save this galaxy. You can finish the mission you were bred for, brother.
Just as you think that I would be doing the same that you are doing if you were if I was in your position, you must know that I cannot just come to the enemy's base and not assume it would be a trap. It has to be a neutral location.
You made another mistake. Korriban's not the Lord Marshal's base. Korriban's not the Doctor's base. Korriban was neutral ground.
Really? Why
Look,
do
the
you say
Doctor
was?
Things are transpiring and advancing faster than you can imagine, brother. Yagdul's already gone. The work continues.
I don't think either of us is going to gain any ground here.
Look, the Doctor remembers you. He has a soft spot for you. He'll spare you. He'll let you come with. But the Jedi, you can't trust them. They'll betray you. Don't believe their lies.
Those are bold words about a man who you say has just destroyed his own people.
He looks.
Zevin steps around the edge of the mech.
Yeah, this whole show's going on. The Lord Marshal raises, like in slow motion, his finger to his mouth and makes a shh motion, and the light show stops, and you're in a dimly lit tomb area now. And you can see that there are things in here. For instance, Killer Croc's here, right by the door you just walked into, and he's staring at you, but he looks different now. He has his face. You can no longer see his eyes because metal's been put over top of it with old Republic symbols that say reject, and they've been screwed into his skull, and he's wearing like rags of his old uniform, and he's like sniffing around in the air when you walk in and start talking because you can see that his ears have been covered up.
I'm going to focus in on the Lord Marshal on the other side of the room.
There's also bodies everywhere that are starting to like slowly like open, like raise their head and like all in unison turn to you with like dead little eyes, but they're not advancing. And yeah, long shot, the clone is just there.
Lord Marshal, or Doctor, if that still means anything to you. If any sanity remains to you, stand down. There's still time to end this madness. And that would be...
Speak softly.
No, reveal the way with wisdom, which I'm not even going to bother to roll. I'm going to go ahead and burn iron.
Well, first of all, pay a price.
Yeah, let's start this party. Pay a price for acting against the Lord Marshal, the Overlord.
Okay, sure. Scratch pad.
Spend some gear.
I'll take a setback. I think since we already seem to be in the middle of one of those big time.
Okay. I will prep that setback when it comes up in just a second.
Yeah, what is it? Heart of Iron or Fire? Iron is the automatic fail a roll to erase one of his bonds.
Yep. It's Heart of Iron, so you erase a bond with him. I'll go to my bonds and do that. I'll erase the bond he has. You are in over your head. That was a bond he had with you.
And now he doesn't.
Nope. So he's gonna steal the spotlight and twist the knife on you, and we're gonna dive down on into that. So you walk forward, you make a plea to him, and be like, "Stand down." And the clone looks like just glances over his shoulder and looks back, and he kind of puts up his hand to be like, what? Do the Jedi endorse universal suffering?
You know that we do not.
Then how come this war continues? And there's like an echo effect when he talks.
Because we are not the only actors in the galaxy, nor all-powerful.
Why not? And at that point, Killer Croc is going to lunge and grab you and hurl you onto one of the altars that they recovered and just like crush your chest down as he like gets on top of you, clawing at you.
The why not sounds a lot like someone who has been let down by their heroes.
And you just hear Killer Croc's looking around trying to smell you, it sounds like. And yeah, when Longshot says, why not? You start to hear that kind of pounding in your ear from like the surgery center, heart monitors, people rushing medical equipment. And for a moment, you're going to take a damage, by the way, from Heart of Iron. I'm going to throw a setback at you as Tora runs in, being like, all right, I'm here to... Oh, no. Oh, no, I shouldn't have come here. The Lord Marshal looks at her. The setback is she's on scene, by the way. Anyway, I'm going to now hit you with what's called Heart of Ice. Once I deal damage to someone who I have a bond with or has a bond with me, I can now make a second hard cut that isn't damage.
Mm-hmm. So I'm taking damage, to be clear?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll go ahead with damage grace.
Yeah, and it's necrotic, so make it instead of an X, say it's an N.
Well, I've just been striking through, so I'm not really sure what to do with that.
Oh, there's a little section right next to your stat number that's supposed to be for the X or the N. That I put there for you.
Oh, so I haven't been putting anything there, so let's put an X.
Anyway, the setback is Tora's on scene. She's fully healed. She took time to rest before getting the ship in order and coming here to like help because this is the mission. God damn it! And the other cut I'm going to make is I'm going to separate you from the group as Croc will leave you on the altar because you're now incensed. As Tora's here, you're here. The Lord Marshal's here. You're in a room. It is a vast, clear, paneled, glassy room about the size of a football field. There's an inverted pyramid made from crystal on the top. You are clearly underwater. In the middle of a room is a figure covered in bandages. It looks like they're partially mummified or in a straitjacket with wires of machinery in their spinal column going into the ceiling. Tor's there, looking 20 to 30 years older and messed up. Something bad happened to her, and she's holding a gut wound with a vibro sword covered in red fire at her side, leaning up against the back wall. She looks directly at you, just a bit past you, and goes, "But I killed you. It can't be you." And you remember the scene from earlier, clearly. You were there. But then when you turn around, you're not back to where you were before. There's a large white open door with a shadowy figure in it with their hand outstretched. This is where you've been separated from the time being. I'm going to swing the spotlight away from you as the Lord Marshal is just standing there staring and is quite currently focused on you. We'll pull back in a moment once we go through the other players, if that's all right.
Sure.
I have separated Zevin from the group with a hard cut. That is what has happened here.
Oh boy.
All right.
So from my perspective, how did that look?
Killer Croc grabbed Zevin, threw him on an altar, punched him in the chest, and he just like started having a seizure on the ground, and the strobe light started up again.
So he is still physically here.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
His body is.
Yeah.
All right.
I will need to run forward to try to grab him.
Okay.
Like, I can't just let the Jedi get killed. That's my entire job.
Killer Croc is there.
Yes.
The job of every clone trooper is not to lose the job.
It is a clone trooper's sacred duty to not lose their job. So yeah, you're gonna square up with Croc?
Yeah, I will try to rush him so that I can like knock him off of Zevin. But I don't know exactly how big he is, so I don't know how much that
Killer
would work.
Croc is enormous. He's
Right.
he's almost as big as the Lord Marshal.
Oh no! Oh, I didn't realize.
And he's all bulk. He's Killer
Yeah.
Croc from Arkham Asylum. He's the big.
Yeah, but I don't know specifically Arkham Asylum, and Killer Croc has gone through many iterations otherwise, so I didn't know how big he was supposed to be.
A
So he's-
nightmare.
So he's about as big as her mech.
Yeah, actually, he's a kaiju.
Mm.
Yeah, I care.
Oh boy.
He is as big as the baby Zillo Beast and the Rancor.
Yeah, like that's bigger than my mech. My mech is a single person mech.
Yeah, but it's bulky because it has bulk
Yeah.
on it because it's 40k aesthetic.
I just wanted to be clear. Like, this is a mech
Anyway.
that basically can go inside most hallways.
Anyway. So, Killer Croc is there. You have to deal with him. Longshot starts talking. It's like, just let him go. Let him go. You can't save him where he's gone.
I can at least save his body.
How many Jedi have retrieved our brothers' bodies instead of leaving them like spent energy casings?
I do not have a reply for that.
Sometimes you don't need one.
Right?
Anyway, who wants to act next?
I'll step onto the scene.
Okay.
All right. So there's Killer Croc, there's the Lord Marshal, there's Longshot, and there's Zevin and
There's so many things.
Fred.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in the room?
Yeah, behind the Lord Marshal is what can only be described as a velociraptor with black scales and no eyes, and when its mouth opens, mollusk tendrils come out to smell the air. Covered in Lord Marshal symbols, as well as what you would probably recognize from the Old Republic as ancient war Sith iconography. And he just kind of walks out from behind the Lord Marshal's shadow, almost literally, some would say, and just starts like opening his mouth and singing as a lot of the bodies in the room start lurching forward.
I'll zero in on Longshot. And I will try to talk to him.
Sure. Longshot's a person.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to talk to him. What is this madness? Why aren't you helping your brother? You stand there and condemn. I heard you stand there and condemn him, but you're still not doing anything to help.
Clones can't do anything to help this. This is bigger than us.
You can still help as an individual. That individual right there.
I don't
Cog
want
or not. You don't want to?
My brother has to learn this. He'll learn it. He'll figure it out. It's how I figured it out.
You don't want to? So you would rather see them all die and be just as bad as the Jedi you're talking against?
I suppose so, but I've never heard anyone say that a gun was bad or a knife was wicked, so I suppose it's all the same at the end of the day.
Well, actually, quite a lot of people say that.
No one ever puts a gun in jail.
Would you like to be tried for your crimes? Would that make you feel better? Would that make you feel less like a cog?
He just sighs. You don't understand. In due time, there won't be any judges or court. There's not going to be a democracy at the end of this. Unless we all join up with the Doctor. He knows what's coming.
Why don't I understand?
Because you don't want to see it. None of you do. None of you actually are looking at what's happening in this galaxy. You're all just content to play war.
So you're saying I'm too foolish and too short-sighted?
I'm saying that you don't want to see the truth in front of you.
So you are calling me short-sighted?
Call it what you want, but what do you call a war with two dispensable sides honed to destroy everyone but the third party? What do you call a conspiracy of sorcerers taking control of the longest-reigning democracy in the history of the Republic? What do you call being born to die? You understand that, droid.
I do understand.
They make you to be as disposable as we are.
I do understand. I do know what it's like to be just the same face and the same number. But that doesn't give you reason to opt out of apathy.
The actions I take here with the Doctor will ensure my brothers have a long life outside of war and strife and suffering and loneliness and sadness.
How so if he's going to destroy everything outside of the Strait of Messina?
Yeah.
Most of our brothers are outside of the Strait of Messina.
And except for that one, which is about to be eaten by Croc.
He looks up. You actually believe the propaganda?
Well, why wouldn't I? What's the truth then? No one is willing to actually tell me what's happening. They just make vague statements with zero proof and refuse to offer any proof.
The Lord Marshal.
All you guys are talking about is sorcerers and conspiracies, but no specifics.
The Jedi started the Clone Wars. They made us. They had the Republic make us. And then they had a droid army made and fought us so we would be the instrument that would bleed dry the Republic with a separatist movement. The Republic's eating itself every day. You've heard the stories. And anytime a Jedi speaks up, by the way, they vanish.
What do you mean?
Let's go back to the source. Count Dooku. he was Master Yoda's apprentice. He turned bad, turned into a red blade, right? That's what we call them, right? We don't use the word they use because we have to be hush-hush about it in reports. But he's a red blade. But if you look at the records, Dooku was the one talking about reintegrating the political system into the Jedi Order so they were more part of the Republic and not standing apart from it and giving emergency power or strange parasitical control of it. And then he was phased out of the Jedi Council and became a separatist and started the Clone Wars. But Yoda had a different apprentice before him. That apprentice was talking about different things. He was talking about a threat coming, a conspiracy against the Republic, and he vanished. General Skywalker, every single day that we go into combat, talks about how the Republic moves slowly, government's being ground to a halt. Every single part of this war seems to be designed to eat lives and destroy resources and consume neutral worlds. And he is long overdue to be a master on the Jedi Council, and he's been denied. Rudwar was an apprentice of Dooku, and he was sent out on a suicide mission with his younger apprentice to cover it up. I don't have the hard facts on me, but I can see the pattern. There's too many things that don't add up. And then I meet Admiral Trench, and Admiral Trench has a lot of information from his side that doesn't add up. It's almost like the Separatists don't want to win this war. It's almost like they're addicted to shooting themselves in the foot and running bad strategies with bad generals. Why would they make an army of droids so incompetent? He points at Fort Kim, your people, your droids. You are 100 times smarter than any battle droid and more effective than 1,000 of them. They didn't just buy you off the shelf. They made battle droids that cheap and useless and then marked them up to sell.
They did. They made them badly on purpose.
I don't think that's just capitalism at play here.
Perhaps not, but perhaps there's a lot of reasons why things happen, and it's not always some grand conspiracy.
Admiral Trench was the smartest general the Separatists had, better than Grievous, better than anyone we've ever faced before, and he defected when he found out the truth. He ran the numbers. He used tactical computers for it. It didn't make sense unless it was intentional. He could show you the data.
They also specifically pulled him back from the front, pulled him back from being a general, even though he was the best they had.
Ask my brother. Ask them about Trench's combat. Is Trench everything we make him out to be?
Sicarius.
Well, Sicarius?
Yes, he is. My brother is extremely intelligent, and yes, I have seen some things he has shown me. I don't know what's going on here, but there is more to this story.
Just walk away. The zombies are getting up, by the way. They're starting to get up and stuff. Just walk away. Don't make this happen this way. The Lord Marshal's not going to wipe all life from the galaxy. He's lying to them. He's building a structured army to help fight the Clone War and win it. And reveal who's been behind it all along. There's a phantom menace to be exposed.
So you're telling me that the Lord Marshal is planning to fight both the Separatists and the Republic?
He's the only one interested in actually winning the war. Neither side wants to. They're sabotaging each other to drain the galaxy's resources and defenses.
So basically what you're telling me is that the Lord Marshal is raising an army to kill a bunch of clones.
Oh, shit!
Damn! Nice. Well
Zevon
done,
just
Nicole.
flops back down after that.
I mean,
I
I
never
did comment
said-
later.
I never said he was attacking both sides equally. We have some pull with them. He has a soft spot for us. But if you think anyone in the Senate's going to survive this, they're all involved. They have to be. No one can be as incompetent as diplomat Binks.
Okay, that's not
Even
fair.
I've
That's
heard
not fair.
Is this a joke? Is democracy a lie? Why does 10,000 worlds get a vote on every single issue? It drives everything into a standstill. It's almost like no laws are passed unless a war happens, and then the wars use as justification to bypass democracy anyway. So it's not like the Republic's a democracy, is it, brother? It's like anyone who wants to line their pockets and loot the galaxy is allowed to loot the galaxy, and no one gets fed. You've been to Ryloth. You've been to Ryloth. You've seen them starve there. Those Clone Wars didn't even start with Geonosis. The Clone Wars started years ago on Naboo with the Trade Federation blockade. A blockade of a peaceful planet.
Of course, this is all assuming the Lord Marshal is telling you the truth.
If he wasn't, why would he keep me around?
People have a lot of reasons for a lot of things.
At this point,
I don't think I'm willing to believe that the Lord Marshal doesn't care about us. He's our doctor. He raised us. He's been with us since we were children, and he's always cared.
Droid,
you're more than anyone.
Droid, you're a thinker, right?
Usually, yes.
Calculate this for me if you could. Is it more likely that everyone in this room wants to destroy all life in the galaxy? Or is it more likely that a sworn doctor, a separatist general, a loyal clone trooper, people from, points at the Nelvanian, people from her village, all came together under one terrible truth, that there isn't a clone war. There's one war, a war against the entire galaxy, and it's being waged by an enemy nobody knows the identity of. We're all enemies here.
Yes, but almost all of the what is the Deadite army called?
The Necromonger Horde?
Necromonger Horde, thank you. Yes, but almost all of the Necromongers didn't join out of some great ideal. They simply jumped on a bandwagon.
They're suffering. The Clone Wars starved the Strait of Messina, and the Separatists were punishing it with experiments and crude torture.
Isn't that true of all warriors?
Yeah, right? That doesn't support your argument.
I'm sorry, but I have my orders, and a good soldier follows orders, and these orders will save everyone. We can put an end to this suffering. We could save this galaxy. Just walk away.
Sicarius is going to turn to the Lord Marshal.
Oh no.
You've been quiet on this and letting your man talk for you. Why not speak for yourself?
The Lord Marshal isn't really looking at you, actually. Like, he is, but his like faceplate's kind of positioned to where Zevin is. Like, he's not quite present.
Sicarius is just kind of do that like wave, like hello. You know, like when you.
The boss is doing other negotiations right now. He's a doctor. He knows a bit about psychology. Maybe we can save that one.
Look.
So at this point, I've telegraphed you don't have to be here and stuff enough that I'm going to say that like the things in the room are starting to approach you guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
To like box you out, to like threaten you, because this is a threat coming. Like they're not going to start attacking you yet, but you seem to not be doing anything when they're talking. So like Croc is on guard around Zevin's body and not letting you approach it.
Yeah, I was hoping to draw the Lord Marshal into actually talking. But he's apparently not doing that yet.
Well, if Lord Marshal is busy, then maybe we should steal the star intelligence from under his busy nose.
By all means.
You can distract him. You do have the orb.
I'm not sure that's going to be a distraction.
I mean,
Okay, so out of character,
until we find out exactly how far it can go.
Out of character, I think it might be a distraction, but not for the reason you think.
Hmm.
You don't know what to do with that.
Ball.
All right, I'll ask the GM. Would it be a good idea to pull out the orb?
Is that like a stat thing?
No.
It's just you asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't ever hurt, really.
And then he'll eat it. No.
Well, let me see what exactly that thing says it does before we do something really incredibly stupid.
All it does is let me talk to people.
I mean,
It shortcuts me into
I'll grant you an audience with anyone you show it to. Yeah.
It doesn't say like it doesn't work against threats to the world or anything?
Nope.
No.
It's the Bear is a powerful playbook without being a powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, damn.
They start with a castle and fellowship, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try the orb.
Okay, so things are going to start happening very rapidly, and then we're going to cut to where Zevin is. So you pull out the orb, and the first thing that happens is Croc and any zombie that's nearby, like, locks onto you and starts making a howling rage sound, and, like, smoke starts, like, evaporating off of them as they all get big, like they're ready to start a fight. There's a camera flash effect, and a lot of that strobing basically, like, dies down in an area around you, like soap being dropped into water. And we'll cut back to Zevin.
Okay.
So, Zevin, there's a white door with a black outline with a hand outstretched to you. What do you do?
I try to get closer and take a better look at it.
Looks like a large skeletal finger with his hand outstretched.
The doctor, I presume.
Well, the Lord Marshal right now. From behind you, you hear a hello sound. Like a hello.
And what point is this supposed to make?
From behind you, you hear someone say hello to you.
I glance back.
The figure that's like wrapped in bandages and writhing on an altar in the middle of this underwater pyramid room is like making noise at you. Like, hello?
Hello?
You sound familiar. His voice has a synthesizer accompaniment with it.
Have we met?
A long time ago, I had a friend that sounded like you. Far, far away. He was nice. Bit aloof. Why are you here? Did Tora let you in? By the way, that scene with Tora fighting Killer Bob is still playing out, and it's not going great.
What? Fighting Killer Bob, what?
You are in an underwater room where Tora has a gut wound, and she's fighting Killer Bob. You see it now. It's possessed a clone trooper, not one you recognize, and like they're in a fight, and she has a stab wound.
Okay, you sort of neglect to mention.
I did because I forgot to include what she saw because you didn't see it the first time, but this time you saw a door, and now things have snapped back. I just lost track of the scene.
Okay, so that's
I
my
knew that Tora
confusion.
had a gut wound, but I didn't remember that she was fighting.
Yeah, she's currently fighting Bob in the background.
I will step closer to the shrouded figure, see if I can get a better look at who the hell it is.
You're bombarded with the sense of formaldehyde as you get closer.
Formaldehyde.
Yeah, the body is long and lanky and like cross-legged on this altar. Its arms look like they're straitjacketed across its chest, and it's always kind of moving and shifting. And in between the kind of white cloth like straitjacket / mummy bandages it's wearing, you could see pale yellow and sickly green skin with metal protruding out of some parts like staples.
Yellow and sickly green?
Yeah.
Can you reach out with the Force to see if you recognize them?
Do I know anybody who's yellow and green?
No, but he feels familiar. It feels like a he.
Who are you?
Oh, me? I'm I guess I would be. No, I'm not that anymore. But I'm Rudwar.
Oh.
You are Guy?
Yes.
What's happened to you?
Oh, I had an accident some time ago, and Tora's taking care of me now. In the background, they're still fighting. And you hear in the background her like, "Who are you talking to? Focus!"
Rudwar, where are we? What is this?
Oh, this is my home. Tora brought me here after the war ended, and has been just she worries, so she tends to me and makes sure that I'm stimulated. Oh, we play Stratagema together. She tells me to think of battles, think of warriors fighting resistance members or troopers in white armor gunning down soldiers, and we play Stratagema as if the two sides are fighting. It's engaging. It's fun. I do it to keep her interest. I know she worries, but oftentimes I just don't want to be here. I go elsewhere.
Zevon touches two fingers to the shredded figure's forehead, closes his eyes.
Oh, you gotta scramble.
It's very cold. Almost like he's distant, vacant, not quite all here. And then you get a bunch of rapid series of images. You're in front of a mirror, a black mirror in a castle of some sort. And you don't see your own reflection. You see the reflection of a shadow, a large man in black armor with machinery and lights across his chest and a cape, staring you down with a dark, chill breathing sound. And then you get an image of... It looks like Tora being shot, like in the face, just briefly in the middle of a combat. And then you see Hoth, but it looks different. Maybe older. Maybe something's changed. And you see people in a firefight with furlings, and there's something wrong with them. They're changed somehow. And then you're back to just standing in front of this cloaked figure.
Zevon closes his eyes. He's trying to move through this moment without fully accepting it, but something about it doesn't feel like just pure illusion.
You remind me of my friend Zevon.
Rudwar, can you think back to the Lord Marshal? To the Strait of Messina?
Oh, the doctor. Yes. My master and I once went to the Strait of Messina to find out about the various force cultures in the area. Dooku was a very interesting master to have, very focused on his dueling. You know, I had a holocron with him in it once.
What did you find when you were with him?
Oh, we talked about the Ashla and traditions, and he was very interested in getting access to the Witch Moon, Korriban. They didn't really want to go there. It was a no-go zone, but my master had a way with words, and we were able to secure some sort of rite of passage after it went through their Senate. We left before the expedition happened, but we would go there eventually, I'm sure. One day. I think my apprentice and I went there once. It was a long time ago. Oh, I don't really... there was a fight, a war to end all wars, and you were there, maybe.
Yes, I was there.
I got injured. You know, it happens to me a lot, and Tora worries, so she took me back here to get better, and the clones have been taking care of me. They're very loyal.
Here. Where is here? Where are we now?
Oh, it's hard to see. I don't really use these eyes anymore. I think we're underwater? I know this place is very watery, and I think you eat a lot of fish. Well, I used to eat a lot of fish.
Rudwar, the Lord Marshal, what happened to the doctor? What happened to the doctor?
I think he died. It was very sad. I think he just wanted to help. I don't remember. I remember reading his file. He worked on a lot of clones. You know, I used to know some clones. I used to know this clone called Dreadnought. They were a very good ARC trooper. A good soldier follows orders. They always said that in the end.
Oh no.
As he's moving, you can see some of the robes peel off of his face a bit, and his face is pale and sickly and yellow. And wherever he had those scars in real life, they're here for real now with like metal staples underneath. He has droid parts, but not in the way you're used to. Not like droid replacements. Like someone took his flesh that had been damaged and put it back together with like droid parts as an interface or as like a holder. So like his arm is a Gungan arm, but like some of his fingers are replaced with droid bits and some are stapled on. And like his joints at his elbow and wrist have like a droid motor in, but like there's flesh in between interfacing with them and like electrodes and fuel pumping into them. Like someone put him back together with intent of keeping as much meat on as possible.
Are you in pain, old friend?
No, I don't really pay attention to it. I'm not really here most of the time. I stay here for Tora, and like his head gestures up to the sky, but I'm often out there.
Out there.
You should try it. You really, the Jedi, I think they squandered a lot of our potential in their doings. I think my master might have been right about a few things. Once I let go of my attachment to the Jedi Order, and once I let go of my attachment to this world, I was able to see the galaxy for what it was.
And what was that?
It's like we're caterpillars here. And once you let go and go into the cocoon, you can soar into the sky for the first time in your life. It's more real out there, not this crude matter.
That wasn't our calling, old friend. We're not here to ascend. We're not here to become. The Jedi are here to help.
Well, they're not here anymore, so I don't really think it matters.
There's a chill.
I think
especially because you know all of the Mandalorian prophecies and shit that we were just talking about.
Right.
Optimism.
The last Jedi I ever remember seeing was you, I think. Before you died. That was a sad day. Tora was very broken up.
I mean, Tora's a Jedi. You can still see her.
He meant what he said. Like, she is currently screaming at Bob and slamming his head against the wall. Clone troopers are rushing in, being gunned down in the fray as she's fighting alongside them, as some of them are getting up as zombies, and it's quickly turning against her in here. But she's, like, hacking at him with all her hatred. You can feel the fury pumping out of her. Like, she's grabbing debris and slamming them into Bob, and then he jumps to a new corpse.
Help me, Rude War. I'm still facing Lord Marshal, and I need to stop his madness before any more lives are lost, any more bloodshed, any more of this darkness leaks into this universe of ours.
But my friend, you already did. The tides turned as soon as you went to Korriban.
Korriban. What did we find on Korriban?
Oh, it's complicated. You should just check your journal. You kept a journal. Just read that. It's hard to explain. There was a whole thing with that. Oh, wait, no. There was an animal. You have to find an animal. It's like do you? Oh, it's hard to explain to you. Do you know what a midichlorian is? Were you ever told that theory? It's like that, but it's different. It lives inside you. It'll let you leave. It'll let you leave. You have to leave to succeed. You did.
The straight?
No, it's more personal, I think. It happened a long time ago. Maybe in the future. Tora always worries about that when I can't remember that. She's a good apprentice, but she needs to get out more. She needs friends. I don't think her co-workers like her that much. She talks about this fellow, He calls himself Maul. I don't think he's a good influence. That name kind of rings a bell, but you're not too sure because that wasn't super public.
I mean, I was personally there.
Your friend, I think, is waiting for you, though.
Is he now?
And like it starts getting darker around the edges of your vision around this area, like the lights are starting to go out.
Mm-hmm. A peaceful war.
Well, you have a good one. You're going to have a very good time, I think. You know, heroes always have a good time. That's why people tell stories about them. I think.
Never here to be heroes, Red War. We're here to serve. Step away from him and walk into the darkness.
Oh, it's a light door. It's a blinding light, and now you're in darkness. You're in an empty void that's like howling and screaming, and there's light in the background, and there's laughter in shapes you can't see. And in the center of it, under a spotlight, is a Given in doctor's scrubs, sitting, holding his knees with his hands, just sighing.
Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Master Zevin. You shouldn't have come. You shouldn't have come here.
Do you have a name, or have you cast that aside?
I don't remember anymore. I don't remember anymore. They won't let me remember it.
You've certainly gotten into something here, haven't you?
Did I? Or was this always going to turn out this way? You can't see it, can you? Not yet. You were always going to end up here, weren't you? Right?
And then
that's... You can only go where the tracks take it.
I'm sorry.
What was that train character from the Transformers?
Metro Train? Damn it, no, I don't remember.
That's one that, always does the train thing, but he just runs people over and over.
Yeah, the triple changer who's a train, Astro Train, he always does the trolley dilemma on his enemies. He always sets them up to be a trolley dilemma, and he gets to be the trolley. In my version of him. Anyway, cutting back to the Lord Marshal in this scene.
Time, the universe, the Force may be a river, but I believe we have agency within its currents, Doctor.
Maybe. I'm trying so hard and I'm not making any progress.
A lot of us feel like that these days. It's a hard time.
I just keep putting them back together and they just keep serving me up dead children. That's what they are, you know. The one with you's 13 tops. They just keep giving me more and telling me to make do with less. And then they order more, but they don't give us more resources to put them back together. They throw them on more missions. I haven't seen new clone trooper armor in 3 campaigns. It's the same stuff they were given at manufacturing. And then they assign them to people like you, heroes who can just lead from the front and convince them that they can do anything. And then sometimes you turn out to be Pong Krell.
A disgrace that man was.
Or was he more of the truth? Was he just less subtle about it? Not in intent, but in effect.
Doctor, I won't stand here and tell you that what's going on in the galaxy right now is right.
It's not the galaxy. It's this job. I can't do it anymore because I'm bad at it. I keep using half measures, and it's not working anymore. I need a full measure. I need a solution. You don't treat the symptoms. Don't treat the symptoms. That's what bad doctors do. I'm a bad doctor.
You're a man who did as much as he could with everything he had. A good doctor doesn't look at the chart and lie to himself either. Whatever it is you found here in the Strait of Messina, it's not medicine.
These things aren't like you and I. They're not like your Jedi. But they're not, he kind of tries to find the words, they're not smart. You can take advantage of them. I think they like to be taken advantage of. It's in their nature. I can do something with this. I did do something with this, I think, once.
I suspect you got ahead of them for a while, but I don't know that that's where you are now, and I don't know that it's where you'll remain for long, even if you still are. They think they're using you.
I'm letting them think they're using me as far as I can remember. But maybe they are using me. But I don't see them coming out ahead as far as I can remember. I remember some of them getting quite punished.
Doctor, all I've seen since coming to the Straits of Messina is horror and death. That's not your calling.
I'm almost there, though. It'll all be worth it in the end. The ends justify the means, because if I get to the ends, the means never happened, and everyone comes out ahead.
Doctor, all that's happened so far is that you've created all the horror in the universe condensed into this one what are we in, a sector?
Sector. Let's
sector
call it a
of
sector.
space. This one sector of space.
It's the long game.
The difference, Doctor, the difference between this and what's going on outside is that you have the power to end it.
You've seen the ghost hand, right? You know about the ghost hand? You have to. If you've seen Mike, you've met Mike.
I've seen something.
There are things at play here that are leading up to this, like ripples in a pond. You've thrown rocks into a pond, right?
Of course.
Well, when you throw rocks into a pond, they create ripples, and those ripples go out. And as far back as I can remember, I've always dreamed of being in this place, even since when I was a kid. I thought I was just scared of the dark, but I think I've always been here. I think the ripples in the pond of what I'm about to do are going backwards, and that's why it's getting so bad. The closer we get to what I do, the more violent the waves are, like the approach of the tsunami. But if we get past the tsunami, we get to the end, and it'll be fine. I just need to see it through.
Doctor, you can't put people back together after taking them apart. And that's all that's happened so far.
That's the only thing I've done my entire adult life since the Clone Wars started. Don't tell me I can't put someone together after taking them apart. I've put together hundreds of thousands. I've put together more people than you've ever known in your life.
But before, you were never the ones hurting them to begin with.
I'll spare them. I won't hurt them. I don't need to hurt them. I don't need to leave the Strait of Messina. The clones don't have to come here. I can save them.
I've just come from a battlefield covered with the Lasat dead, bombarded by your ships, slain by young fanatics wearing your civilians, soldiers, dead by the hands of your orbital bombardments from your ships,
and they were all
fanatics wearing your uniforms.
And
this isn't who you are.
They were all so eager to join up once I gave them an out. They wanted it. This is what they wanted. This is what they voted for in the Senate. This is it. This is all it will ever be unless I finish my work. People will go behind polling screens, check off for the better of two evils, and then it'll be nothing but screams for the rest of time. And I can stop it. I have a solution. I just need work. I just need more time.
And what's that? To put a fist around the throat of the universe entire?
When I'm done my work, no one in this galaxy will ever have suffered a day in their life. I will cure the disease. The disease is not war. The disease is not cruelty. The disease is suffering, and I will cut it out with my scalpel.
Doctor, that's a feat beyond anyone who has ever lived or will ever live.
But I have the solution. I found it. The intelligence gives me what I need for it. All the other parts I'm assembling, they'll work. I have the solution. I just need time and faith and people. And I keep running out of people, and I keep having to put them together with inferior parts, and they keep laughing at me, and they keep cutting their arms off, and they keep killing the people I'm trying to spare, and I can't keep up with them much anymore. I just need a break.
Doctor, they're drowning you in the darkness, and they're confusing you.
You'll see it.
You can put an end to this. Together. We can put an end to this.
You don't want an end to this. You know what happens when I fail?
People die.
No, not people. People's an abstraction. 1,000,000 deaths is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic. No, the tragedy here is that door you just came from happens. If I fail, that happens. And you have no idea how bad it gets. You do not comprehend what is beyond that door. On the other side of my failure. It gets so much worse. You think the Clone Wars are bad? No one will talk about the Clone Wars after what happens. The Clone Wars will be a footnote in history, a scuff-up, like every other war the Old Republic had. Do you think people talk about the Mandalorian Wars against the Sith, or the Sith Wars against the Old Republic? No one even talks about that anymore. The Clone Wars, what's coming, will make all of those be ancient history.
And the answer is black sorcery and the living dead?
You're looking at the symptoms. These are just what happens when you take the antibiotics. The cure is so much better. People can't suffer if there aren't ever any people.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
I'm just
But
so
I
close.
can't allow that.
It's the will of it has to be the will of your force. Why else would they line everything up like this? Why else would there be so many hints and so many mirrors and waves and effects and shadows telling that this is coming? Everyone I know involved in this has known about this their entire lives. They just didn't know how to put it into words. Admiral Trench has always been afraid to come to the Strait of Messina ever since he was hatched. He told me that. He saw it in a history book when he was a child, and he knew that one day he'd see his brother die there.
That's why he left?
What does that mean? It has to be the will of the Force. This is the one chance to save everything before it goes bad. I could stop life from ever having happened and cut out suffering from the entire galaxy for the rest of time. I could be the one good doctor and use a full measure for the first time in history, and there won't have ever been history.
Doctor, then you would have no employment.
I'm not a Republican doctor. I'm a good doctor.
And no patients.
That's the best hope any doctor could hope for. To not have a job.
To first do no harm.
No harm will ever happen when I do this. All of the casualties will never have been harmed because they'll never have existed. It's the perfect solution to my code.
The death you found and dredged out of whatever hole you became lost in isn't peace. It's horror and pain.
Imagine
you can't truly want this.
Imagine a verdant world, a garden planet full of nothing. Just peaceful and perfect for the rest of time until the stars burn out. The galaxy drifting idly with not one soul suffering in it. A dance of stars and cosmos. When no one will ever need a doctor.
Keep reaching out for me, Doctor.
Pardon? So two people talk at exact the same time.
Say what?
Go on.
Two people talk at the same time.
Go on, Holden.
Who's talking?
I'm sorry for all that you've seen and all that you've been through and the hurt you've had to witness again and again and again and again. But there are people out there now, in this very room, never mind the rest of the galaxy at large, who need you.
But I'll save them by staying here, and I can't leave anyway. It'll be worth it in the end. That's what they told me. I'd have to stay behind, because I'm here already. But everyone else will be fine.
Doctor, if I know anything about these things, and I don't know a lot, I'll admit as much freely, they lie. They lie with great jagged smiles on their face.
But they're evil, and evil is stupid, and I can get ahead of them. It's the only gamble I can take, Jedi. It's this or that. And he points to the door. It doesn't ever get better than today. It never gets better than today. It only is going to get worse.
It's already gotten worse.
Yeah. Every day you live from here on out, Jedi, will be the best day you've ever had compared to the next one.
Come with me, Doctor. Speak to your patient.
I can't. They won't let me leave. It's part of the arrangement.
Oh my god. He's like the most suffering person ever. Of course they want to keep him.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
He's like a constant source of food, like top shelf quality stuff. This is such a precise and profound hurt he's feeling. Fuck.
They literally feed on pain and sorrow. They won't let me leave.
Doctor, come with me. We'll defy them together. Out somewhere beyond that door, I promise you, there's hope to be found.
You'll regret these words. You'll regret all of this. I know that there's a chance I don't win. I know it's a fool's errand to think that this 1% chance that I could fix everything right will fail. But you'll regret this for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. I wish I could have done more for you. Tell that to Dreadnought and Longshot and the rest of them when you see them for the last time. And
Don't give up on yourself, Doctor.
And things start to get a little bit fuzzy as you're kicked off of that altar because we separated you long enough.
Nice!
So, let's come back to the group before you fully wake up, and you can jump on in whenever you want, because the Overlord has been distracted. That's what that cut was, and that whole exchange was. What were you doing in the interim?
So the Overlord was legit distracted?
Yeah, because I used Twist the Knife on Holden. I have to.
Okay, so the thing I'm thinking is, though, you technically have already completed the plan to take this thing.
Yeah.
The things that we were trying to do is steal it behind his back while he was distracted.
Yeah.
So how does this work?
Swirling melee against the undead.
So if we can defeat these undead, we can get it back from him?
Maybe. He might, it depends on how this is going to line up.
So, I guess, Shiny would jump in next to Kim to A, protect the little ones, and B, try to lift this giant cube here. I'm not sure how heavy it is, so giant slam would come in handy here.
Yeah, you're not going directly to the intelligence, asshole. Everyone is about to start fighting you because you brought out the orb, and the orb hurts them.
Okay.
Oh!
So we're all into the shit now, I believe. Because the zombies attack. They're just going to start attacking. It's happening. Longshot shakes his head and puts his helmet on and backs away back to the Lord Marshal, and the Cenobite approaches, singing ever louder.
So the question is, do we want to do this today?
Yeah, we might have overshot this session again.
It's 4 a.m. here.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm really bad at diving right into the combat.
No, this
Just
is really
play
cool.
fun.
It's like it's a weird thing where the social is really good, and so that's taking up a chunk of our time.
Mhm.
But it's really good, and I think we're all enjoying it. So
Well-
is it that bad?
I would say that social might be better if there was like a way to sway those things, because a lot of them were people repeating, well, not necessarily people, like stating the same points, stating what they think, and you can't really, sway them of what I know, trying to do some rolls or something.
Honestly, we probably triggered about 17 different moves there, but
I think the largest takeaway, the most important takeaway, is Zevin has the permission to forge a bond with the Overlord on his character sheet, and that is valuable.
That is very valuable.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
the takeaway. With I gave you 2 hard cuts, and you walked away with a resource. All right, let's all check ourselves about missing moves.
also though, shit, what was I saying?
Long shot?
Oh, this is very sad. Now I kind of don't want to win, and I want to hug the Overlord forever until he's okay again.
I mean, Nicole, you can always take the traitor advancement and then you join the Overlord.
I would be so miserable fighting against the entire party all the time. That would make me so miserable. But
The only thing he's using to weaponize against you is the truth.
So the bad news
That's
is
what makes
the
him
doctor
so
is still in.
powerful.
So the good news is the doctor's still in there. The bad news is he's batshit insane.
I believe mad with grief is the optimal term here. He is literally a gothic villain, a hero of those types of novels, because he's his own worst enemy.
Devin, are we in Ravenloft? Did we pass the mist? Is this the evil forces toying with some Lord of Dread?
I mean, now that you say it, the Strait of Messina is covered by like a wall of mist.
Oh my god!
Ravenloft.
And you all dumb assholes willingly drove on in, and you all know the mist is a one-way trip.
Yeah, we're in Ravenloft.
Like, not really,
fuck.
but pretty much. This place is there's a Dark Souls planet. There's a Dark Souls planet, guys. Where do you think you are?
Just a banking planet. Of course they're evil.
hey, Devin,
Yeah.
is hydroxychloroquine the bleach that you were drinking that one time?
I have no idea. Move on. Move on.
Next game we play, we should just have all beach worlds. Just happy, all beach scenes, all nice, fun episodes. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's like the
Okay, but
beach
you know what?
episode
An
in an
episode
episode.
of Star Trek that took place on a beach planet ended up having a terrorist attack, so you can't even be safe there.
Oh no.
Anyway,
A religious fundamentalist terrorist attack.
let's focus in and not talk about the episode where Worf joined a religious fundamentalist sect because he's that much of a prude and committed eco-terrorism.
It was literally because
And-
he didn't feel comfortable expressing affection to his girlfriend in public.
Yes,
And
he
that's
retreated
how far
into
he went.
he retreated into eco-terrorism as a result because
I'm gonna make it rain every day.
like the Grinch.
Amazing.
So yeah, Zevin, you're going to be able to come on scene once the fighting kind of hits, not like a middle pitch, but like once we get a full turn from everyone to kind of do something in this, you'll be able to pop on in. I feel like we should wrap for here, obviously. Sorry we didn't get quite to that, but I think based on the pacing we're in, next session, the Overlord Showdown and what goes on will probably be the season wrap-up.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, we've actually been hitting like really decent cliffhangers the last couple sessions.
Yeah.
Plus,
Sort of
also,
naturally,
yeah, and also, not only does Zevin get a bond with the Overlord, but presuming that the Overlord was actually telling you the truth there, you now know what his actual plan is.
Yeah,
Which is holy fucking shit.
Yeah, you know the secret that nobody knows. Nobody knows he's trying to destroy time and life forever across all of the universe so that no one will ever be hurt again.
Or ever have been.
No one knows that part of the plan except maybe the Cenobites. And even they probably don't know the full details of it. They think that he's going to cause damage here and something. No one really knows what's in his heart. You get to. You also got telegraphed how you die a few more times. I've been telegraphing that a lot.
Yeah, well,
Like,
it happens to everybody.
First, I faked it out with Tora maybe doing that, but no. It's clearly that large, black, armored, breathing shadow. Also, that mirror is a source of power. It comes up later. Yeah.
Are you telling me that I don't get to kill Zevin? Come on.
I'm telling you that much like your plan from the Stellar Intelligence, and much like everything that's happening here, I'm telling you in a possible future, the Fist of the Empire guts Zevin. And he dies alone, unremarked, in an unburied grave on some planet somewhere. But, you know.
That was a really good thing that Longshot was like, have any Jedi ever come back for our bodies? Because if he would have said ever come back for one of us, I would have been like, well, yeah, all the time. But for our bodies, I don't think they do. Like, I've never seen a graveyard in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Jedi burn their dead.
Hearts.
The Jedi burn
their dead.
And then, like, I've seen different cultures have, like, a funeral. Like, I've seen graveyards on, like, individual planets with, like, their own cultures. But yeah, no, I've never seen, like, even a war memorial for the clones.
Why would you spend money on something you already spent money on?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's really brutal.
So yes, you know the full details of the Lord Marshal's motivation and intent, which should help prioritize why you should not join the Lord Marshal, and everything everyone is telling you is heavily running on false pretenses, which was the name of an episode, this game or the other game. So, you know, keep that in mind when people are like, just give up, just join us. Come on, together we'll make a galaxy free of pain and sorrow. Isn't that what we want? And you guys are like, you have no idea what's coming.
It's like, yo,
This is the most important thing any one of you guys could have learned.
Right?
Yeah, we were all about to join them. That was...
So, I believe it's okay for us to wrap up now, and the next session,
Yes.
the last session we have,
Please.
will be you guys dealing with the Lord Marshal and his forces. Like, you'll get into a fight with him at about the midpoint, and we'll see how much you can damage his Overlord stats. I am raring to go on that front. I am so excited for that.
Okay.
Because, like, you guys might body him, and he might have to retreat and be weaker than usual, and that might start telegraphing his downfall and stuff. It could be a whole thing. So, I think at that point, I was Devin.
I was Stephanie.
Nicole.
Peter.
Ian.
Holden.
And this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.